Good morning. Today is May 24th, 2023, and this is a regular meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority. Present today are Chairman Vincent Bradley and Commissioner Lily Fan. Staff in attendance are General Counsel Shannon Carney-Sarfo, Amy Mail from the Licensing Bureau, and myself, Casey Sotosanti, from our Secretary's Office. Deputy Commissioner Donahue is joining the meeting remotely. This meeting is being video conferenced between the authority's offices in New York, Albany, and Buffalo. The meeting is also being live streamed on the authority's YouTube channel. The next meetings of the members of the authority are on June 7th, June 21st, and July 12th. Items will be called in the order they are signed in, first in Buffalo, then Albany and New York. Please approach the podium when your item is called and introduce yourself. Please silence your mobile phones while in the meeting room, and please do not take any calls when in the meeting room. Food and beverages are not allowed in the meeting room. Public restrooms are located on the second floor, and please do not touch the microphone at the podium. Chairman, do you have any announcements?
Yeah, just two brief ones. You see that Casey is filling in for Donald. Donald, unfortunately, is ill and was unable to attend, just so the rumors don't get around that Donald has been banished from the SLA. He has not. He will be back we expect him back at the next meeting. And Amy is filling in for Tom, who is, you'd think he's in our offices, but that's actually his family room at home where he has the SLA background, which I'm very proud of. But Tom will be chiming in whenever he's needed as well. And we expect him back here at the full board meeting shortly as well. And I think Shannon has one announcement as well.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning. There's one thing I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention. We're seeing and hearing about a proliferation of events involving promoters hosting bingo events at licensed premises. And effectively, that's not lawful. So we wanted to just kind of call everyone's attention to a couple of provisions of the law, specifically General Municipal Law 487, that prohibits bingo in any room or outside area where alcoholic beverages are sold, served, or consumed, but for certain very specific statutory exceptions. Additionally, the ABC Law 1066 prohibits gambling at licensed premises. So we just thought it wise to kind of remind everyone of those provisions in light of this proliferation of events that we're hearing about. Thank you.
And just to add, as minor as that sounds, and you're all probably sitting there going, you can't play bingo, why would bingo be a problem? I just want to remind everybody, we do not make the law. We are just tasked with enforcing it. And so the questions in your mind, I can't tell you that I don't have them as well, but unfortunately it is illegal. And we are, I don't know if we're seeing it in New York City, but we are seeing it in other parts of the state. And we are going to be forced to enforce the law. And just as patient as you can be with Casey, I would just ask you to be that, because she has been forced into this duty, has never done it before. So there may be some hiccups, and we're going to give her as much time as she needs to keep up.
Okay. Nicole, is there anyone present in Buffalo?
It's not.
Okay, can you please keep the video up for 30 minutes?
Sure, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, for Albany, we have agenda number 627, KAUR and KAUR Enterprises, LLC.
Good morning. I'm Jennifer Sim. I'm here for agenda item 627, KAUR and KAUR Enterprises LLC, DBA Liquorland. I'm here with the two principals. We previously submitted materials. Our principals are two sisters who both have experience at family-owned gas stations with liquor licenses, looking to open a liquor store in North Syracuse, very desired suburb of Syracuse, where there's some booming industry. I know there's a new Amazon warehouse that's opened.
So
there's some shipping-
can I just
Of
stop
course,
you there?
yes.
Is we did receive 3 written protests. Are any the protesters there?
Yes, sir, they're here.
Can we hear from them first? Thanks.
Absolutely.
Good morning. Thank you for hearing from us. I'm Joseph Peter. I own Joseph J. Peter Wine and Spirits in North Syracuse. My store is 1.8 miles away from the proposed location. We are a family business, and I'm the second generation owner of that business. My grandfather started the store in 1975, and we moved it to where we are today in the early 90s to be near our what was then grocery store in that plaza. For sales, we did 2.1 million last year, which was flat to 21, and we're down about 100,000 to the COVID spike of 2020. Despite increased competition over the last few years, we've maintained our sales by a loyal customer base. We've had skilled, long-time employees, and we're constantly reinvesting into our business, such as doing remodelings, website design, delivery services, and marketing. I currently employ 7 people, 3 of which are full-time. We carry 150 different New York State wine SKUs and 25 spirits.
Good morning, my name is James Messenger. I'm the attorney for Joseph J. Wine and Spirits. Just like to add a few points. In the past 4 years, there have been 3 more stores added within a 5-mile radius of my client's store, which brings the total number of stores to 7 within a 5-mile radius. And if you go to the current applicant's new location, there are 10 stores within a 5-mile radius. Difficulty for any small family business store, package store, is the increase in competition, which diminishes sales, and also the increased competition from online sales and wine clubs. So that's starting to have an impact now. I think COVID kind of started that a little bit more, but all those challenges plus the possibility of another store within the territory where my client's sales derive from make it increasingly challenging to maintain profit levels, to keep the store in good condition, and maintain the employment of the longtime employees. There's also, you see, proposed legislation that's been for the ABC laws that proposes, among other things, that grocery stores be allowed to sell wine, which would be another challenge for a package store, and also for possibly multiple licenses, which would present another challenge for larger owners. The impact of that, my client fears, is that you'll have a smaller number of licensed stores with larger stores, which would have a better opportunity to get the inventory, which leaves the distributors with less inventory to distribute to the smaller family-owned or independent businesses. So for all those reasons, my client opposes having an 8th store within a 5-mile radius of his store so they can maintain sales. We don't think there's a need for another store in the region, despite the growth that's been coming and proposed to come to Syracuse. Warehouses don't generate people that package stores rely on, residences do, and North Syracuse is a old neighborhood, very heavily built out for residences, and there's not much room for more. So the territory we're talking about is pretty well developed for housing now, and based on this, we ask that the application be denied.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is anybody else in protest there?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, so absolutely understand that there's always going to be competition should a new store come in. Our store is fortunately not that close to the other current locations. As we talked about, there's a lot of development in the area. And also based on traffic patterns, we expect that the customer base for our proposed location would be different than that is served by the current other stores. It's a very reasonably sized store, about 1,800 square feet of retail space. Going to be run by, as I mentioned, the two principals, the two sisters, and it's going to have a very strong focus on the wide variety of products, but also pricing. Very interested in having pricing that would be much better for the public. And happy to answer any questions.
Is it located in a shopping plaza? I can't tell from the diagram.
Yes, sir.
And what else is in that plaza?
There are quite a few things. There's a gym, a nail salon, a pizza shop, there's a noodle restaurant, a Harbor Freight Tools, a Dollar General, orthodontic practice, and a sub shop.
And do you have any population numbers?
We believe population in North Syracuse is a little under 7,000.
I don't want to know what you believe. Do you have any population numbers?
Yes, based on the census, 6,722 based on the last census data.
But how's that compare to 2010?
About the same. About flat.
Okay. All right, Casey, are you ready?
Yeah.
I think we're ready, Casey.
Commissioner Payne?
Yeah, the closest stores are not showing any growth. And Joseph J. Peter, who is here, it's literally a 4-minute drive on the same side of the street. So I'm not going to find public convenience advantage. I vote to deny.
I'm going to vote to deny as well. The population is flat. As the opposition pointed out, there's been 3 new stores within a 5-mile radius. Right now, there's 7 stores within 5 miles in a driving community. And from the sales numbers we have, most of the sales are flat. There were increases during COVID, but other than that, they've been flat. So I don't find any public convenience and advantage. I'm going to vote to deny.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have agenda number 671, the Vaughn Store LLC. We have opposition in New York City.
Is there opposition? Oh, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Greg Allen. I'm the attorney on behalf of the applicant, the Vaughn Store, and my client, Mr. Jacob Circus.
Okay, hold on. We have opposition here in New York. We're going to let them go first.
Understood.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Robert Romano, we're back. We were here 2 weeks ago. We gave you our opposition argument at that time, but briefly, since that time, I can also provide you a photograph if it means anything in terms of the applicant's compliance. They had never posted the notice as required, I believe, under 108, the notice of a pending license. Again, we reiterate that this store is located, I thought 20 steps have been corrected.
It's only 14 steps.
14 steps away, parking lot to my client's store. It is 200 feet from door to door. I ask that, I believe a mistake had been made originally in granting a license so close that this mistake is not done again. This applicant, I believe, I looked, has no prior experience running a retail business. We feel confident that you will see our way.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. If you have any questions.
Yeah, I do for him.
Yeah.
Rockland Spirits, how close is that to you? Rockland Spirits? I don't see it in the closest stores, but I think it is a close store, isn't it, Amy?
We've got.
It's not in your paperwork. I'm asking him
No,
from.
Rockland Spirits, maybe they have a different DBA name, I'm not sure.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Amy will look it up.
Okay.
This is only like 14 steps.
Oh, I got that.
But you're not a kosher store, right?
You sell kosher.
Yes, we have a kosher wines. We have a section, kosher wines.
Right.
All right, thank you. Anybody else in opposition? No. All right, go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you. Well, first of all, we would question the issue on the distance.
Well, the first question I want you to answer is whether you put notice in the door, because he's got a picture showing you didn't.
This was taken, when did you take
Last
it?
week.
You have to put notice by statute. You have to put a written notice in the door of the establishment that you're putting a liquor store there to let the public know that it's coming.
They did change the name on the,
Did you do that?
Yes, maybe it fell off, but yes.
Do you have a picture showing you did it?
I can look up if I have a picture, but it was in the store. There is like from the old owner some tint on the window. So
Like, can I see your picture? I see the signs that are inside now. I see pretty clearly.
yes, because it's like a tint on the window. I had a sign there inside. Maybe
Where
it was
was
not
it?
shown.
Where
On
was
the
it?
window. On the
Which
window.
window?
But it's a,
Which window?
what do you mean? Inside
There's
the window
two-
showing to the,
There's 2 windows and a glass door. Where was it?
on the window next to the door.
Which window?
You come and look on the door, the right window.
And what was the date you took this picture?
Last week.
Last week? Okay.
There's one more thing I want to mention, if it's,
What's that?
they put liquor store, but that's.
That's fine. That's not.
Right.
All right, go ahead, sir. If the thing is supposed to be up, it's clearly not up. There's signs in the window that were clearly not replaced, so I don't know how you could have put a notice sign up without taking them down. But go ahead.
Yes, well, again, we question on the distance issue. The distance between the stores is listed as 0.2 miles. It's closer to 500 feet. It's a very busy intersection. The store, Crestville, I believe it's called, is set way back in a strip mall away from the location where my client proposes. And I would point out that
So your argument to me is that the public convenience and advantages that you're saving people a 500-foot walk?
no, I'm just saying that it's not 15 or 16 feet or whatever they are
He said 20.
saying there.
He said 20. He said 20 steps from parking lot to parking lot. Whether it's 20 steps or 80 steps, I don't see what the difference is.
Well, I think he's referring to the entrance to the parking lot.
You're
which is
missing.
across-
You're missing my point. You can see your store from his store.
Correct. And
All
that,
right.
that
So
was
then,
true with his.
then explain to me why you're so much different. That we need 2 stores where you could throw rocks at each other.
Well, first of all, this location was licensed prior to that location.
That's
So
not true.
their store came,
No,
That's incorrect.
no. But can I talk for a
Romano,
second?
Romano, that is correct. This location was licensed from 2005 to 2019. Your client got his license in 2009.
Yes, but it had been
My
licensed
location
previously.
licensed in 1983 under One Mala Inc.
Okay,
And then I took over in 2008.
okay, go ahead, sir,
But-
in Albany.
And again, my understanding is this location was first licensed in 2005. But the greater point here is that the Vons store, which is directed towards a strictly kosher market, is serving a public convenience not currently served, we feel, in Spring Valley. It would be a strictly kosher product and clientele that we would be catering to. And, as far as I can see from the research, the nearest other kosher market is over in Onset, the next town over. So in Spring Valley, there's really no other store that is strictly serving to a kosher market. That really is the public community that we seek to serve here.
But you just heard him say that he sells kosher wines, and I would imagine any store in Spring Valley would be nuts not to be selling kosher products.
I would like to add my point. I lived there for 40 years, and I'm Jewish, so I'm not. It's not going to be two stores throwing stones at each other. I'm not.
I wasn't insinuating. I wasn't insinuating you were going to. I said you're close enough to do that.
No. So basically, let me correct you, please. I'm not his competition at all. He's not going to feel in his sales whatsoever, because even if he has kosher wine, if you look at me, my community goes to a kosher wine store even though he has kosher stuff, and those people that come to him that buy kosher will still go to him buy kosher. It's two different kind of communities.
There is a kosher one behind
Not
us.
every Jewish man is the same in leniency and strict. So I'm not his competition whatsoever. I'm not going to serve the same people.
And he's not going to be listing the same brands. He's serving very particular kosher brands to a particular kosher community.
Which is underserved. There's a community that I grew up in, New Square. There's 2,000 families there with no store.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
There are two kosher wine stores. There's one in the Chestnut Ridge, which is also zip code is 10977. And there is one in Muncie right behind us within 1 or 2 miles. I'm not sure, but it's behind us on 306. There is another kosher wine there. So already two kosher wine store exists.
Okay.
And I do carry kosher wines.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Casey, I think we're ready.
Yeah, may my client add?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to add one word. Isn't it funny that those Jewish stores that he claims to be close to me are not coming to object?
No. You saw a liquor store before. We got 3 protest letters about it. One person came and objected. They come or they don't. It's not,
It would be much more of a competition for them than for him.
And maybe the other question I might ask is maybe they're not aware you're applying, since there was no notice in the door.
No, they are aware. I'm sorry, they are aware. I've spoken to them.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Are you guys ready to vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Pan?
I'm not hearing any information about increased population or increased demand here, so this is a stone throw away, as Chairman mentioned, from another store, literally 1 minute walk away. So I'm not going to find public convenience advantage and vote to deny.
Yeah, I'm going to vote to deny as well. obviously extremely close together. The current store does sell kosher products. As he mentioned, there are 2 other kosher stores within a short driving distance of this location, one of which I believe was opened while I was here. So I just don't see the public convenience and advantage of having one across the street. And I also don't find that you gave proper notice. And proper notice would be putting a newspaper up the day you put the notice up, taking a picture of it, and having it. But that's another day. So I vote to deny as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paula, we don't have anybody else in Albany, correct?
That's correct, Casey.
Okay, you can disconnect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, first agenda number in New York City is 628. DIONY Fine Wine and Liquor LLC.
Good morning again, everyone. Robert Romano. I'm here with Mr. Tunji Bello of DIONY Fine Wine and Liquor Incorporated. I'd like to start by stating in full transparency, and as I'm sure the chairman may remember, back February 6, 2019, when Mr. Bello came to you for this for his current license.
Hold on one
Yep.
second. Is there any opposition here for this? We did get one written protest. Okay, go ahead.
That you had stated to him in no uncertain terms, or hopefully maybe a little uncertain terms, that if he came back to you in 3 years seeking a full license, you would not grant it to him. Well, it's now 4 years. A considerable amount of world-changing events have happened since then. We are coming hoping that you have the open mind that I know you do have, would reconsider your position back then and allow him to carry a small, and by that I mean no more than 15% of his SKUs of liquor, of non-wine items. He has total sales of about $250,000 a year. Not a significant number. It's enough to basically pay his 2 employees, three employees, and his rent and his inventory, but doesn't leave anything for him. He feels that this little bump, and he would stipulate this would be to the end of his term, that he just is looking for that little extra oomph that can give him the income that would be relevant to the amount of time he spends in the store.
Why, and what's the reason? I mean, he was going to be a big wine seller, or what's the?
We are still big wine seller. That's what we sell now.
He is, I mean, that's all he carries. It's all he sells.
No, I get that, but what's the need for change then?
The numbers aren't as high as he expected, to be honest with you. I mean, he's looking.
Which is the way it goes. You would not have gotten a license had you come in here as a full liquor store. There are 8 liquor stores in just over half a mile of you. All their sales are flat and decrease, or at least the 4 closest are flat and or decreasing as well.
Right. And again, that's why he's not looking to turn this into a liquor store. It's just a wine.
Well, yeah, he is.
No, well, he's looking to make it a wine store that if somebody buys a couple of bottles of wine, they say, hey, can I get a bottle of vodka as well? Unfortunately, he has to turn them away on that. And that extra little sale is.
But this was something he knew going in, he was going to have to turn them away.
Absolutely. Oh, that he knew that he would have.
He was going to have to, somebody looking for vodka wasn't coming to him. I mean, that was what.
Right.
He was fully aware of that and fully accepted that.
That is correct. The state of the market, because of the COVID, now has changed from what we projected back then. So it's a totally different experience now.
So his numbers, even in COVID, were not spectacular.
And that part of that is because there are 8 stores within a 10-minute walk of them.
Right. And this is Williams, I mean, this area is, you know, the population of Williamsburg, is, everybody knows, has gone up considerably since then.
All right. You have any questions?
I don't know what to say.
He's speechless.
I have that effect on people.
I mean, I'll hold it over until July. That's the one thing I'll offer.
For what?
In case the legislation passes, then they're really wiped out at that point.
He can reapply at that point. I'm not going to hold anything over because of potential legislation. There's so much potential legislation right now that would affect them that it's impossible to predict what would happen. But you're right. If it did pass, I probably would have a different attitude.
Right.
But I'm going to vote to deny. This is not a path to get a liquor store license, to get a wine license and then come back.
I know you voted, and I'm not trying to.
No, I know that, but it's I want to. You know, part of this is that I have to be consistent down the line as well.
I understand.
And there are 8 stores within, as I said, just over a half mile. You would not have gotten a store in this area if you came in as a full liquor applicant. And at least in my vote, I don't know what the other 2 would have done at the time.
I'm not sure if it has to be decided here, but part of his application was taking on.
That I will grant if he wants to do
so
that.
if we can.
So I'll grant the alteration, but deny the change in license.
There is no pending alteration application.
There is no alteration.
And given the increase in size, I think that would by itself have to come to the board separately.
Oh, I thought there was an application. All right.
No, this application is for the package store to include the basement rather than use it as a warehouse space. So there needs to be a new alteration application under the wine license. If they want that, they may just continue using the warehouse permit.
Do you? Because forgive me, I did not do his application. Do you have a warehouse permit?
No, we don't have a warehouse permit.
Has he had a warehouse
He
permit
doesn't
in the
store
past?
liquor
Tom?
down. He doesn't store alcohol in the basement now.
Oh, all right.
All right, so that would definitely have to come back to the board as an alteration application.
All right, so we'll file an alteration.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I vote to deny. I don't know if I got to vote, but
You were speechless.
they're like, we know you said no, but did you change your mind?
Okay, next agenda number 629, On the Rocks Wine and Liquors Corporation.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Robert Romano again, and I'm here with Huber Zuluaga. Forgive me if I.
Is there any opposition here? We did get one letter of protest.
Which I don't believe is written by a person. That was my opinion in my letter.
Who do you think it was written by?
Chat GPI. It's AI generated.
Oh, really?
I'm 99% in my mind. I'm 100% positive. Anyway, he comes to you today seeking approval of a liquor store, which we do have a letter, which we got late Friday, and I was unable to get it submitted to the board. I can read it, or I can give you the.
No, you can just give it to us.
Okay,
Thanks.
letter-
So just for the record,
Right.
the letter's from
Philip Ramos.
Philip Ramos, who is Deputy Speaker in the Assembly.
And it's a letter in
In
support of this.
support, yes.
Right. There are over 65,000 people living in Brentwood. The population has gone up 1.4% in the last 3 years. Mr. Zuluaga is eminently qualified to hold a license. If you look at his employment history, the closest store driving is 1.6 miles from the shopping center of the closest store to his shopping center. His shopping center has an array of stores that, including a supermarket, which the nearest center does not. Someone can go into the supermarket and then leave without getting back into their car, purchase their wine or spirits from Mr. Zuluaga, hopefully from Mr. Zuluaga's store, and one-stop shopping as opposed to getting back in their car, drive 5 minutes, get out of the car, walk to the other store and back. It doesn't sound that terrible unless you factor in kids screaming in the car or snow or just life. We are here to answer any questions. I submitted my.
Why a liquor store?
Currently in that shopping center.
No, you.
Why
You don't
me?
have, yeah, you don't have any experience. What's?
I used to own a restaurant. Back in 2011, I opened a Baja Bar and Grill. I used to hold a full liquor store at that restaurant.
The liquor service, not liquor store.
No, I'm sorry, liquor
Right,
service in the
right.
restaurant. Since then, I owned also a bakery. I had it for 18 years. I sold the bakery, and my wife and I are trying to wind down a little bit and just manage the store ourselves. Instead of having 16 employees and having early hours, late nights, 7 days a week. I'm okay with the 7 days a week, but the hours are restricted. Therefore, it's gonna help us out a lot.
You live in this area?
I live about 20 minutes away in Holtzfield. I grew up in Brentwood. I lived in Brentwood for over 15 years.
And you and your wife are, so you're having no employees, it'll just be you and her?
My wife will be one of the employees.
Okay,
And hopefully we're gonna get another 2 employees.
okay. What's the supermarket in the plaza? What's the name of it?
Gala. It's a Hispanic supermarket. It was previously known as Compare Foods.
Are you gonna focus on Hispanic
You were gonna.
liquor,
Um,
wine?
Yes, I am thinking about introducing a Colombian liquor. It's called aguardiente. We have several types. There is a red cap, blue cap, yellow cap, and I haven't been able to find those in the area. Those are well known, among a lot of Hispanic people, especially for Christmas or Thanksgiving or even New Year's Eve.
Okay, all right, Casey, I think we're.
Mr. Romano, your client
Yes,
said
sir.
he had a restaurant. Was that licensed?
Yes.
Where? In this state?
It was in Farmingville. The actual address was 359 Horseblack Road in Farmingville. Name was Baja Bar and Grill.
In your application, you don't mention that at all.
I closed it down though.
No,
I
it's there.
closed it down.
It is. No, it's there.
Okay, all right, Casey, we're ready.
Okay, Commissioner Fan?
Okay, the closest store is 1.7 miles away. I'm going to find public convenience and advantage and vote to approve.
As will I.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you, Jim.
Well, won the lottery.
Yeah, in Suffolk, you're right.
He's very impressive.
All right.
Okay, next agenda number is 676 and 676A. Crafted American Kitchen and Bar LLC.
Good morning again, hopefully for the last time today. Robert Romano, and I'm here with Nick Fusco, who is the one of the 2 principals, he and his wife, of the licensed establishment. We are submitted to you a conditional no contest plea in the amount of $15,000 to settle both cases before you. I would ask in this case that you even, given the facts, that you even consider a lesser amount, given that the quote-unquote availing that allegedly occurred was his father being a little overzealous, who had never received, actually received checks, never cashed them, of $200. Yeah, for working the front door. And the other individual that was accused of availing was actually mentioned in the application, filled out a personal questionnaire. They were fully transparent about him. He was approved. And even in the deficiency notice that came back in his original application, which I did not do, they asked questions about this individual that is now being accused of availing. So,
Okay.
Yeah, but you offered 10 when it was just the availing.
exactly.
Now you want a reduction.
Well, no, I'm saying I'm coming to you today with 15, but if you would consider, because I explained to him that we could go to a hearing. He wanted to get the matter behind him. He said, just make an offer that
All
we
right.
can.
All right, I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna withdraw charge number 5 in the second proceeding. 12-5?
Well, yeah, whatever you want to do.
12-5.
That's great.
This, this inspection though did uncover that this place was clearly a health hazard.
Well,
I know you fixed it all.
Yeah, he did.
And because if you hadn't fixed it all, it would be double what it is. But if it comes back again,
Yeah.
like this, it's
I know.
not going to be.
He's had a clean, before this matters. He
All
had.
right, 12.5 is fine.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, agenda number 621, North Shore Naturals LLC.
Did a protester sign in or something?
With the opposition, I don't know where
Oh.
the applicant is.
Okay.
If the applicant's not here, second call it.
He's here, I just saw him walk out.
Who is it?
It's, I never saw him before, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll get him, he's in the hall. There he is, right here. Excuse me. North Shore National?
Yes. Let him put his name on the record, please. Go ahead.
Put your name
Mike Paludas on behalf of North Shore Naturals. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, all. Joined by Gordon Moody, Principal.
Hi, Gordon Moody, Principal.
Okay. And your opposition, go ahead.
Okay. Thomas Burke from the Law Office of Stacy L. Weiss for the opposition. With me is Mr. Michael Chait. He's the owner of the closest store, Birch Hill Wines and Liquors. And also with me is Jay Sue Lee. He is the owner of the second closest store, 223 Bobby's Liquors. Okay, so I would just like to address the issue of gross sales letters. 3 out of the 4 closest stores didn't submit, only one submitted, and that's Mr. Chait. But the 3 others told me they never got the letters. And when they told me that back in February, I emailed Secretary's office and deficiencies to tell them that these people never got gross sales letters. So I know you generally consider not submitting the gross sales as an indication that sales are up. But I don't think it's fair to assume that in this case. Point, okay. So,
So do you have the numbers for Bobby's?
Bobby, do you have your numbers?
Like 3.5.
3.5? So your last numbers was 3.5 million, is that what you're saying?
But did you send them in? You obviously got notice.
No, he didn't. He absolutely didn't.
Never get the data.
Was this the first time you've ever had somebody apply for a liquor store near you? The people that didn't get the notice, I get it, but he obviously found you. He could have sent us the number.
He didn't find me. He didn't find me. Mr. Chait found him.
All right, but you know when there's a liquor store application, if you're going to come and object, we ask for sales numbers.
He didn't know that.
So does he have the numbers or not have the numbers?
Not offhand. He just said he made 2.5 million in 2022.
I think he said 3.
I thought he
Did you say
said,
2.5 or what did you say?
I thought he said 3/4, but this is why we want it in
Are we
writing.
talking about 3.5 million?
Yeah.
What'd you do the year before?
Year before, when the pandemic came in,
we had a little more.
The year
Not
before was
34.
2022, you did 3.5. 21, what'd you do?
About 4.
4.
Yeah.
And then what'd you do in 19?
19, we did about 3, a little over 3.
A little over 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so there are 8 active stores within 2.7 miles, and the closest store is Birch Hill Wines and Liquors, which is 637 feet away. That's a 1-minute walk. The population in Locust Valley, where the applicant would like to open up, and the 4 surrounding towns has increased by 277 people in the last 10 years, and there is no new development in the area.
It's
Now-
gone up 277?
Yes, 277 people, a total of 277 people.
And what's the time frame
In the
again?
past 10 years.
Past 10 years?
Yes.
So that's 13 to 23?
I think it's 10 to 19.
10 to 19? Okay.
Okay. So back on 9/15 of 2021, the members denied a package store, Wine Line, which applied for a liquor store license at 30 Audrey Avenue in Oyster Bay, which is 0.3 miles from the proposed application. I've included a number of protest letters, one from the local assembly member. Now, the closest store has an inventory of 75% wine and 25% spirits. He has over 1,500 SKUs of wine, and more than 300 of those SKUs are organic and biodynamic wine. And Mr. Chait would like to speak to that.
Good morning, Chairman Bradley and members of the authority. My name is Michael Chait. I am the owner of Birch Hill Wines and Liquors, Inc., Marquee Wines, located at 29 Birch Hill Road in Locust Valley, New York. I have owned this establishment, which has been in business since Prohibition ended, for 25 years, and have been involved in the retail wine and liquor business for close to 35 years. I appeared before you today with the sole purpose of protesting the application of a new liquor license sought out by North Shore Naturals, LLC. This applicant is seeking to open a shop that will be less than a minute's walk and exactly 637 feet from my current wine shop's location. To give you a better understanding of why this application concerns me, you need to understand the size of Locust Valley and the additional surrounding towns of which the zip code 11560 is comprised. Locust Valley is less than 1 square mile. Currently, there are 8 active liquor stores operating within 2.7 miles of the proposed location, one of them being a 10,000 square foot discount store located in nearby Glen Head. In addition to the liquor stores, there are also at least 5 restaurants serving beer, liquor, and wine within walking distance to the proposed store. Locust Valley, as well as the surrounding communities, is well served by these existing stores. As such, I feel adding another liquor license to this area will not improve options. It will only further saturate a market that is already well served. As you can see by the information we have submitted, the total population for all towns within the 11560 zip code have only grown by 277 people in the past 10 years. An additional store would not provide any convenience or advantage to the public. Birch Hill Wines and Liquors, DBA Marquee Wines and Spirits, is a small fine wine shop under 1,000 square feet that prides itself in providing unique and rare offerings that cannot be found at most other stores. We are a boutique wine and spirit store. 75% of my inventory is wine. My wine selection is made up of roughly 1,500 different SKUs from around the world. I offer over 331 different natural, sustainable, organic, and biodynamic wines that are labeled as such and offer to order any wine label we may not carry and have it to the customer usually within a 24-hour window. In addition, many more of the 1,500 wines I sell are produced by makers using sustainable, organic, and biodynamic practices. However, the producers do not wish to label themselves as such. I have been involved in educating and selling these wines since the early 90s. The founding of Organic Vintages by Steve Frankel in 1988 created a forward-thinking approach to the wine industry, which has resulted in a portfolio of premium USDA certified wines made from 100% organically grown grapes with no or low sulfites added. This portfolio specializes in natural, biodynamic, vegan, sugar-free, fair trade selections, and it's from this portfolio I draw reference. In addition to hand-selling each wine, I also offer wine education through in-store wine tastings, at-home wine dinners, and through the vast personal knowledge I have gleaned from being in the business for over 35 years. Shopping at Marquee Wines is both an experience and an education. I myself have dedicated my life's work to hand-selecting each and every product just mentioned. Customer service is my highest priority. I have worked hard for 25 years building a wine business, and after over 35 years remain passionate. This is not just a job to me, but who I am and what I am. This is not a hobby for me. This is my source of income that puts food on my family's table and clothes on their backs. I have operated my license both responsibly and in good standing for 25 years. I appreciate both your time and consideration in allowing me to speak out against this license application. I hope that you and all the pertinent information put forth by me today and through my attorney that you can make a fair and just ruling. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's the size of your store?
Size?
Yeah.
988 square feet.
988. Okay.
Are the members ready to vote?
No, we got to hear from the applicant first.
Sorry.
That's it.
Good morning again, commissioners. Good morning all. Mike Plutus on behalf of North Shore Naturals. Before I introduce Mr. Moody, sorry. Just want to point out that this is, of course, a wine-only store, no spirits, and our client the applicant is willing to stipulate to selling exclusively only low-intervention natural wines. So with that, I'm going to let Mr. Moody address you all. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Chairman Bradley and Commissioner Fan, members of the State Liquor Authority. Just want to make a few remarks. We submitted like 40-page submission, so I don't want to go through it point by point, but just a few overall remarks. I mean, we moved to this neighborhood 2 years ago, Locust Valley, and we really love it. We love it for a lot of reasons. One of them is the great businesses that are there. Marquis has been there for decades, and we are not trying to, take food off anyone's plate. Our store is going to be very small, 350 square feet, and most of that space devoted to education and tastings. So not that much actual wine stuffed into that space, more of an area for people to get together and talk about wine and where it's from. And the focus of our store is exclusively natural. As Mr. Chait said, the nearest store does offer some organic wine, some natural wine. We've seen that expand in the last few months. But our store will only do that, and it won't just be organic wine, it will be organic and sort of low intervention at every stage of the process. And the purpose of the store will be to go and taste wines and talk about how they were made, to understand the ingredients in them, because that's one of my motivations for creating the store, is just people's interest in health and understanding what's in the products they're eating or drinking. The other motivation for me is running a business. I'm a full-time attorney, but actually creating something of value for the neighborhood is appealing to me, creating a job, 2 jobs, even though it's very small. And also just giving people a way to come together and sort of connect with what's going on in the planet and how that manifests in wine. We have a little business plan.
You're not going to be active at the premise.
Well, we live a minute away, but I have a full-time job as an attorney, and my focus on this as a lawyer will be 100% license compliance, safety, but no, I won't be sort of selling wine day to day. I'll just be trying to make a great business, and that would be the measure of success for us, would be people saying, oh, that's a great little shop. It's a great alternative that you created in the community. It wouldn't be kind of runaway sales. Millions of dollars of sales is completely unachievable for us. With that square footage, $1,000 per square foot, I mean, we would have to have the sales per square foot of Tiffany's or an Apple store to be on the level of Marquis or Bobby's Wine, I think, well into the millions. We have a letter from the local assembly member, Jake Blumenkrantz, I think, so it's dueling letters. And we also have support from over 200 members of the community. And we really didn't, do much work to get that support. We just moved into the area recently, so these aren't our personal friends. We left a description of what we had in mind for the store, which you can see in the application, which just described it as focusing on natural wine. And if people wanted to sign it, and this was just in an adjacent store in the plaza, it was there for them to sign. I didn't, collect myself a single one of these signatures, and we got over 200 just in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So it seems to us like there's a real interest in a store that focuses exclusively on this. I understand there's some of this product offered at the nearby store, but I sort of see that as, a steakhouse is now offering a vegetarian dish, but it doesn't mean that a vegetarian store a few blocks away can also have, a good little business and add something to the community. So I think those are the main points. We're excited about this. We've put in a lot of work. We've invested in the store already to lease the space in September, to renovate it in accordance with the lease. We put a lot of work and thought into this application. Again, no motivation to hurt any other business. Our SKU list is 100% distinct from anything at any of the nearby 8 nearest stores. So we're really just trying to offer something that enriches the diversity of the offerings in the community.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, Chairman, quickly.
In the microphone.
I'd just like to point out that there is a level of natural demand that's going to be created here, both by the shopping plaza and also by the increased ridership that is already taking place and is expected to increase on the LIRR as a result of the Grand Central project opening.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Casey.
Commissioner Fan?
Just need 1 second. I just need to see how close this really is.
37 feet. Right.
All right. Thanks. I'm sorry, these numbers are just so tight that I'm not really seeing growth in demand. And it's very, very close to this other store, so I'm gonna vote to deny.
I mean, and I agree with her. Obviously, you're a great candidate. Obviously, the idea is great. But he's selling similar stuff within 750 feet of you. So I just don't see the public convenience and advantage of putting it there, I guess is the conclusion I came up with. But come back with another location and I'm sure you wouldn't have a problem.
Okay, well, thanks for your consideration.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have a Spanish interpreter here. I'm going to call up agenda number 670, CIELO New York NYC Corp.
Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Ricardo Alcaraz, interpreter for the record.
Thank you for coming.
Good morning, members of the authority.
All right, so you got the community board, so I'm going to vote to approve according to the community board's hours, Monday to Wednesday, 1 a.m., Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2 a.m., Sunday, 12 midnight. Security guard is required between 12 to 2, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No promoters.
We'll call an ambulance. Jonathan.
Yeah.
Oh. We're going to take a 5-minute break.
Okay,
Are we
back.
back? All right, let me start from the top. With community board's approval, I'm going to vote to support this application with the following conditions. Monday to Wednesday, 1 a.m., Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2 a.m., Sunday, 12 midnight. Security guard is required 10 to 2 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and the remaining time as needed. Recorded live DJ karaoke music are allowed. No private events, no third-party promoters.
Hold on one second. I don't see where the community board signed off on the music. Or that they knew about it.
Did not.
Or that they knew about it.
I assumed they were honest when they went there.
I have a copy of it. They were supposed to email it to you.
He's just saying that the letter that came in doesn't mention the music.
Did you fill out a questionnaire for the community board?
Yes.
Can I see it?
Gracias a Dios que yo traje eso.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, I'll vote for the same. I'll do the same.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great holiday weekend.
Thanks for coming back. Good luck. You can take it. Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, we have 602 and 603. 3 Stars Restaurant, Inc.
Yo soy intérprete. Yeah, well.
2-second call. Let's call them again.
Oh.
Yeah. The representative is, can you just take one moment? Okay.
Yes.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Do they have a representative?
Yeah. She
Okay.
just went to the bathroom.
Okay. All right. Next, second call.
Okay, we have agenda number 631. Mango Bar and Grill, Inc.
Okay.
Good morning. Francis Buscemi for the applicant. With me today is Amira Cedino and her mother, Carmen. The interpreters. This is for a tavern license. It's up here obviously because of the past history of the premises itself.
Are they aware of it?
Some of it, I was aware of some of it. I foiled, I tried to get other information, which I wasn't able to.
The ALJ that gave public interest
Yes.
was not aware of it.
Well, she was aware of some because I put it in my statement. I put a cancellation, a fine and a cancellation in my 500-foot statement to the ALJ.
Yeah, but there's a revocation.
I foiled information which I didn't receive. I was aware and put in my 500-foot statement to the ALJ, the cancellation and a civil penalty that I know of.
So just for the record, the last 3 licenses here had enormous adverse history One license was summarily suspended and canceled, and another was revoked.
Yes, I saw that on the agenda sheet. Look, my client is looking to really have more of an emphasis than what's been in the past concerning, with regard to food and menu. This is 56 seats with 14 dining tables. We have a full menu here, full restaurant menu. Carmen is going to be, she has a lot of family traditional dishes which will be prepared for
Let me stop
and
you
are
there.
on the
Is
menu.
it true that one of these individuals was the bartender at one of the former
Yes.
licensees?
Yes.
And they were at the...
At El Pariso, she was there for a little over a year. She was terminated from there, she told me, in February of 2019. And now she's been working for a little over 3 years at Salam Latin Cuisine. And that's on the, it's in her personal questionnaire.
Who's Carlos?
Carlos is Carmen's son-in-law.
Son-in-law. So that's another daughter's.
But exactly.
Exactly.
He works, he's not involved in this business at all. He does work in the hotel industry. He's a steward in the hotel.
Okay.
All right, for many, many years, that's what he's been doing.
Okay.
So.
Mr. Buscemi?
These are running in.
Yes.
If you're saying it's a full menu with a restaurant, why did you imply as a tavern?
Because it's the hours of operation that they're looking for really lend itself more. I didn't want to say that it's, this is a fine dining experience here. It's going to be good, wholesome neighborhood food with a full menu, but they do want to stay open late. So, I don't know too many restaurants that are, that are open to 4 a.m. So I would describe this more of a tavern.
And between you and me, I don't know too many bars that have had a license summarily suspended, then canceled, and another revoked that are open till 4 a.m. Particularly when one of the applicants was working at one of them.
All right, for a brief period of time, and it's not, she wasn't involved in management or didn't decide how things were going to be run or anything like that. These are hardworking people, and they're looking for a chance to open up what they feel is going to be a nice neighborhood establishment with a full menu. And we're in a large Spanish community here, and if you look at the menu and what's being served, this really caters to the community. We didn't get any opposition from the community board. We sent out the notice. I personally contacted the community board, and there was just no response from them at all. And as you can see, this is not the type of place that's going to be moving tables and chairs out and turning it into a nightclub, after a certain hour. Things stay in place. Tables and chairs stay where they are. Most of the place is full with the tables and chairs, plus there's a small 12.5-foot bar. No live music, no disc jockey. This is recorded music and jukebox only, no dancing.
So she's going to continue to bartend where she is now?
No, she's going to devote her full time and effort to this. She's going to be managing this business. We don't have oversaturation. I think we have 3 within 500 feet. When we file this thing, I get the past history, but she's really, not looking to go that route. I know the story. I know how people switch up and turn their businesses into these pure club scene, but that's not what we have here. If someone is passing down family traditions via, food, menu selections, mom will be in there putting together. She's not going to be there full time, but she'll be there putting together the foods and the selections and the recipes. She'll be in the kitchen. Well, we had requested, again, we didn't get any opposition till 4 a.m. If you want to discuss that or restrict on that, we can discuss that. But again, I have no problem with, no live music, no DJs, no dancing, none of that.
I don't know.
And one security guard on weekends, which is in the application.
All right, Casey, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to vote to approve recorded music only. Security as needed. No third-party promoters. No private events.
That's no
I'm
problem.
going to start at 2 a.m. across the board, sir.
One thing that you didn't mention, which I did, Commissioner, was jukebox.
That's fine.
There is a jukebox, okay? So
To me,
just,
that's recorded music only.
excuse me?
To me, that's recorded
Oh,
music.
okay, I think there's a separate thing for jukebox, that's why I
She
say.
just gave it to you.
I'm gonna
I'll
give
do
you
the same.
jukebox,
2
2
a.m.
2 a.m.
Recorded music and jukebox.
Okay. I
If you're
appreciate
good
it.
in 1 year, you can come back for more.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Serve the food.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have another interpreter. Agenda number 666, Quiet Bar Restaurant LLC.
Good morning.
Ricardo Alcaraz, interpreter. Buenos días.
Names
Aurish Matos.
Rafael Adorno.
and are they the owners?
¿Son ustedes los dueños?
Sí.
Yeah, they are.
Yo.
Oh, she's the owner.
And who's he?
Es mi pareja. Mi pareja.
She's a couple, sir.
A what?
Couple.
Oh, they're together.
Yes.
Okay.
Casi que se me da el micrófono para que escuche ella.
Okay.
What are the hours?
¿Cuáles son las horas?
De 2 a 4 de la mañana. De 2 a 4 de la
Okay,
mañana.
2 to 4 a.m.
Everybody wants to go. Are they, ask them if they're aware of the history here, adverse history.
Adversidades del distrito. Yes, she said she is.
Sorry.
Las adversidades, ¿qué inconvenientes tiene con el distrito?
Con el distrito, el local, no, no teníamos, de los anteriores no teníamos, no sabíamos.
Oh,
De los inconvenientes no sabíamos.
okay. I'm sorry, sir. They don't understand the adversities you mentioned.
So in 2013, there was another
En 2013
business
había
here
un negocio ahí.
that was the license was canceled because of their violations.
Por violaciones.
Oh, no, no teníamos ningún,
Dice, pero en el 2013.
no sabíamos nada de eso.
Not aware of that?
They are not aware of
Vinimos a
that at
darnos
all.
cuenta ahora, cuando mandaron por la oficina del abogado, fue que nos dimos cuenta de todo
Yeah,
eso.
the lawyer informed them about that situation.
No.
And is she licensed at another location or is
¿Tiene
he?
licencia en algún otro lugar?
En Quiet Bar, yes, anteriormente.
Where?
Teníamos en el otro negocio,
Yes, she had one.
en the other place.
Yeah, in the other place.
Does it still or no?
¿Está todavía vigente?
No, porque nos mudamos ahora. a
No,
este.
because she moved completely to this one.
She was previously licensed at a different location
Yes.
under the same business name.
That was, can I speak?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 535 East Tremont Avenue. When that was the first business she had, because we got a second business that we partnered with. It's nothing to do with it's a security company, security camera company. We do like CCTV system. So that was the first business, and then we do like some kind of transfer to the new location. She was new in that neighborhood in 2019. Unfortunately, our lawyers not able to be here. And the other location, it was in 2019,
and was open, and then it was transferred to this location, 2022.
There was a little trouble at the other location.
But they surrendered?
Yes.
Yeah, that was in the 4 years, the only incident. It was.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. I see.
It was in a New Year's Eve. For Spanish people, it's very common the 31st. We didn't open to the public because we don't have the permit, to open late. So we got together, the kids was there. Around 4:40, we did something in sancocho. I believe you guys know what sancocho means. And we did some sancocho. We was eating like around 4:40 in the morning. The kids was there. And then we got a guy to not let anybody out from the family to go inside. The police show up, we was eating, and they give us a ticket.
I see. All right.
And
Okay.
we
That's
take
not
care
that
of
big a
it.
deal.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right.
And apartment, and then we open in the
It's
new
fine.
location for over a year already.
Oh, you're open right now?
Yes, for over a year.
Yes,
Okay.
temporary.
No problem at all. We got very.
Oh, you're on a temp right now?
Yes, for a year.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
por un año. No hemos tenido ningún tipo de
Okay.
problema.
Are the members ready to vote?
Yes.
She's saying that they have been open for a year and there's no
No
problem.
problem.
Commissioner Fan?
Yes, I'm going to vote to approve recorded live DJ jukebox. No dancing, no promoters, no private events, security guard as needed, 4 a.m. across the board.
We have security 7 days because we got robbery. It's very crazy right now.
That's fine.
Whenever you need it.
We put it
I'll
as
do the
needed at
same,
this
with the
point.
same conditions. I vote to approve. Good luck.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry. Forget everything.
Okay.
Okay, and we have another interpreter. 602 and 603. 3 Stars Restaurant, Inc.
Good morning.
Hi. Okay.
Can you put your name on the record and their name?
Sure. My name is Adeline Arvello, 83 Prospect Street, Huntington, New York. I'm an attorney.
Henry Contreras. Alex Contreras.
Henry.
Henry Contreras, sorry. Jennifer Garcia.
So do they know why they're here?
They do know where they're here, Your
I mean,
Honor.
the stipulations they entered into, or not stipulations, they're conditions of the license. No DJs, no live music, recorded music only, no security, no promoters. Remove the DJ booth and a 12 a.m. closing time. And it appears that they didn't follow any of that.
They are here to apologize. They did write a letter. They understand the severity.
Well, when
and-
did they come to understand it?
And we,
The first time that they visited them, the second time they visited them, or the third time?
Your Honor, at the time, we are proposing, they understand.
When did they start understanding? Because when they got their license, it was really clear.
Yes, they know that.
And
they-
then when the police came in the first time, it was pretty clear.
They apologize.
Now, the second time, how clear did it get then?
They are willing, they're proposing.
I want to cancel and bond them. So give me a reason not to.
Your Honor, they're here standing before you. They are apologizing. 100% this will never happen again. They're willing to pay $7,500.
No, that's not going to cut it.
$10,000.
No, we'll decide what it is.
Understood.
But
And it will not happen again.
what drives us crazy, at least me crazy, is when conditions are put on the license. I get, maybe they didn't understand, but then when the police come in and tell you, you can't have this, you can't have that, you're supposed to be closed by 12, and then a week later, they do the same thing. What do you know, as somebody who's regulating this, what do you think I think?
And that's why we're here before you. Apologizing And point blank, this will not happen again.
All right, Casey.
Commissioner Van.
I don't know. I'm worried about taking their money because then we're gonna check again, and then you would have just wasted $15,000.
I've spoken with my clients, they understand, and it will not happen again, and they will pay what they need to pay, and they're willing to do that.
All right, I'm gonna counter it 15,000.
15.
Thank you.
Shannon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is agenda number 624, Platinum Liquor Inc.
With the opposition.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Thomas Burke from the Law Office of Stacey L. Weiss here in
Well,
opposition.
hold on. Do we have an applicant here or
Yeah.
no? Yes. Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
With me is Vishal Patel, is the manager of the closest store.
Well, we have to put them on the record first, then you can go.
Hi, good morning. My name is Alma Martinez. We're representing the client.
Good morning, my name is Wanqing Chen.
Okay. All right, so now we'll hear, go ahead. You want to put your name in?
Blondie Medina, Metro Service, we are representing Platinum.
Okay,
Now we can go with this.
thank you.
Okay. So with me is Vishal Patel. He's the manager of the closest store, Victor Wine and Liquor. And also with me is Zing Hao Dam. He is the owner of the second closest store, Victory Liquor. This is the second time that this applicant has applied for a liquor store license at this location. In 2021, the members unanimously voted to deny the application. Commissioner Ford and Chairman Bradley stated that there is no need for a store diagonally across the street from an existing store. The circumstances have not changed. There is still an active liquor store diagonally across the street, 191 feet away, a 25-second walk. And the sales of the closest store, as you can see from the gross sales letter, have continued to decline since 2020. And once again, the applicant has not put up a notice to the community that she was applying for a liquor license, not giving the community the opportunity to protest. So since the circumstances haven't changed, everything is exactly the same, I would suggest that giving them this license is not an advantage to the community.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so,
Well, why don't you start with why we're back here with the same location a year later?
We're back here with the same location.
Because the problem was not with the applicants, the problem was with the location.
Yeah, the location, and the applicant did not want to continue with the business, which was her daughter, so she passed it down to her mom, which is Wendy.
but she put a lot of money into the location, and the lease has been running, so she might as well thought, and she's coming back with new things to sell and new products that the other liquor stores are not
We have a
giving.
list here. We checked with the other liquor stores, and they are not selling any type of Asian liquor, which she will be specializing in. Do you guys want to see the menu
Sure.
she's planning to have?
But what's changed, I guess? That's the next question since the last time you applied.
The last time we did not submit an argument on time, so that was supposed to be the argument.
You want to see this? No? Okay, Casey, I'm ready. I don't know. Commissioner Fan is.
Well, another thing we wanted,
Commissioner Fan is ready too.
Okay. All right. Given that continues to be a store 394 feet away across the street, and that now I have more information that the 2022 number is significantly lower than the 2020 number and lower than the 2021 number. So I do not find public convenience an advantage. There is no increase in demand, and I vote to deny.
I'm going to vote to deny as well. I don't see anything that's changed since the last time we denied a license at this location. The sales of the surrounding stores are, excuse me, declining or flat. I don't find public convenience an advantage, so I'm going to vote to deny. You folks can take those back if you want.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Just gotta.
Take care.
Okay. Next agenda number is 626. Mark Menasche.
Go ahead.
I'm Patrick DeLuca. I'm here with my client, Mark Menasche, regarding a liquor store located at 420 Avenue M, Brooklyn.
Okay, we got the opposition. I thought it was Avenue U.
It is Avenue U. Charles Lynn for the opposition. I represent 4 of the local stores to this applicant. The first one is Wine Plus Inc. at 310 Avenue U. And here with me today is Natalie Solovosky. She's the principal, and her husband, Igor Solovosky, he's the manager for that premises. Also, Wine Tent LLC, which is at 714 Avenue U. And with me today is David Judkin as the sole principal of that corporation. Also with me is Happy Hour Wine and Spirits, Inc. At 1233 Avenue U. And the gentleman that is here with me is Zing Dick Lu. And the 4th store that I represent is Lucky World Wine and Liquor at 490 Kings Highway. So the public is already being served, well serviced by the current stores. There are 19 stores within 1.3 miles in this neighborhood. I submitted as part of my submission Exhibit A, which has an area survey showing all of these stores, and also a list of all of these stores with their distances away from the
Great
applicant.
map.
Excuse me?
Great map.
Thank you. Expensive too.
I noted.
So we have 5 stores are on Avenue U, where the applicant is seeking his store. I won't go over each of the ones now that Commissioner has mentioned that she has the map before her and the listings. This would be the 6th store on Avenue U, within 0.8 miles of the applicant. As far as gross sales are concerned, Wine Plus Inc., the closest store to applicant, has had significant decrease in sales, Wine Tent LLC, the second closest store in business just 2.5 years, has had decreasing sales from 2001 to 2022. And Happy Hour, which is the 3rd closest store had 2022 sales less than its pre-COVID year. And that I have it next to my paperwork as Exhibit C. As far as demographics, the zip code has shown little, if any, population growth in the last 10 years. There's been no gentrification of the area, nor any significant residential or commercial construction. That I have next as Exhibit B. As far as specifics on Exhibit B, I show that in 2010, the population was 78,700, and in 2020, it was 80,500. It was only an additional 1,800 people, additional population growth within that 10-year area. Also, my clients tell me that during COVID and recently, there has been a large exodus of the population, with many whom have moved to New Jersey, leaving a significant number of empty homes in the area and a significant decrease in the population. Applicant owns Koski's, a store just 2 stores down from applicant, is a specialty store, family food market, basically for Mediterranean kosher foods. There's a large supermarket, Food Universe Marketplace, formerly was a Seatown supermarket at 242 Avenue U, only a few blocks from applicant, and close to Wine Plus Inc. at 330 Avenue U, and serving this neighborhood. Although the applicant is a well-known, highly respected member of this neighborhood, there's no evidence that applicant will be supplying any line of products or any new services. Applicant is not a boutique store, nor does it have a small footprint. It is equivalent to the size of the existing stores. It may specialize in Arak, A-R-A-K, which is the traditional alcoholic beverages in Eastern Mediterranean, but that product is carried by the other stores in the neighborhood, and there's a large population, there is a large population of Syrian Jews. It happens that the second closest store, Wine Tent at 714 Avenue U, is one of the biggest sellers of Arak, probably in the entire state of New York. The area is saturated, and also I would add that Wine Plus Inc. also has a large selection for this specific type of wine, specific type of liquor. The area is saturated with liquor stores, with 5 already on Avenue U. There's no showing that the public is not being adequately served by the existing stores. Population growth is down, and the gross sales figures of the closest stores do not reflect any significant increase in demand for alcoholic beverages. I would also like to add that
Why don't we wrap it up?
You always only say that to me. I'm allowed 5 minutes. The only other thing is that there are many synagogues in the area. My clients service the 8 synagogues that are in the whole area. It's a very close Jewish community.
Okay, thank you.
The applicant, I met him when I went to do his grocery store called Krusky's.
You know, I think when your opposition actually identifies the applicant as an upstanding member of the community, you don't need to sell me on him. You need to sell us on why you need another store here.
It was relevant that I went there to do that license, and that's how we wound up talking about the liquor store. My client felt that it was something that could be used because his own clients continuously ask him to carry wine, and that was one of the questions that he asked me when we went there to do his beer and wine products license. But I think my client would be better equipped to explain why he felt this was a good idea, even though we were surrounded by liquor stores.
Hi, thank you for allowing me to present my application today. Again, my name is Mark MENASCHE. Koski Foods is the name of the store. I was born and bred in the neighborhood. That was used to be my father's store. We've been around for 30 years. The community does know us. It is a very busy, populated block. I do know there are other stores, yes, and we do know each other. The reason why I'm applying for the application is because of my grocery store, the supermarket. A lot of people always ask us for wines and different kosher products. They will not be walking to other stores. Parking is ridiculous in the area. The other stores as well, they know that it's very hard to find parking over there. There are 8 shuls as mentioned. 2 of them actually right around the corner even came and asked me if we have any kosher wines that we can supply them. Additionally, we did recently get a beer license. We figured we try out the beer license. However, when a lot of people kept on coming and asking me for kosher wines and different things, that's when we decided that, okay, maybe we should pursue it to offer that convenience for the customers.
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Fan?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Can I mention one more thing?
Yeah.
I do want to mention also there is another set of condos that came up not too long ago. There's a few blocks away, another big building that they're going to be developing with more residential housing as well. So the population over there is growing, not decreasing.
Mention the fact that they asked for space.
As well, one more thing I'd like to mention, one of the other applicants actually did come to me in the past as well and asked me if I can help him obtain a location on the block. Obviously knowing that the block is pretty busy and that they wouldn't be walking to the other locations or driving.
All right, thank you.
Here for this certain, yeah. So yeah, no, they would be very supportive. Like, I gotta go get some bed tomorrow. You know, that.
I'm sure you're a respected member of your community, but I'm just not really seeing the growth here in the need for liquor
If I may say, there
here,
are
and so I'm gonna vote to deny. I'm not seeing public convenience and advantage. The closest store is showing a 15% drop from 2019 to 22, which is significant.
Yeah, I'm going to vote to deny as well. The 4 closest stores are all showing declining or flat sales, except for during the COVID period. And as the opposition pointed out, there's 19 stores. Well, he said 19 and 1.3 miles, but I found 8 within 3/4 of a mile, which to me is walking distance. And there's 6 just on this street, all within a under 10-minute walk approximately. So I just don't see the need for another one. I don't see what the public convenience and advantage would be.
If I may say, there are 6 other supermarkets and grocery stores also on the avenue, and we're all busy, and my business has only been growing and getting bigger. Also, there are some main streets going over to 714, which is a big street. The parents won't be crossing over with their kids in the strollers, especially since they live in the neighborhood.
All right, thank you.
okay. Next is agenda number 625. FULGUMS Rest and Bar Corp.
Good morning, Francis Buscemi.
Where are we at now?
Bruce Fulghum. I'm going to ask for, again, a short adjournment. On Monday, the attorney that's handling it and Mr. Fulghum was told that there was a $34.70 open
Item, right.
charge, and they wouldn't they wouldn't reinstate. So on Monday, Mr. Fulghum paid that.
So 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's this,
Seven?
at this point, it's hour to hour, day to day.
Right, all right.
So,
6, 7.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Sorry, you keep having to come back.
Next agenda number is 634. TSR 953 Corp.
634.
Yes. 34.
Good morning, my name is Frank Palillo.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Ramirez.
What's going on here?
What's going on here is that I have represented the Ramirez family for over 20 years. Jocelyn, I represented her father, I represented her brothers. Had a family member who offered to help her do a new application. He didn't know what he was doing, truthfully. She paid for his advice. She listened to him, and he gave her the wrong advice. There was no intent to avail, and my client sincerely apologizes. We have filed a new application. Her brother, who was the person who was accused of being availing, has been the chef at the premises for over 10 years. He will not have a interest in the premises.
Is he still the chef?
He is still the chef. It's family. But he is
Mr.
not.
Filippo?
Hello, Mr. Donahue. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Why do they need a new entity being licensed? Why don't they just continue with the one that's already licensed?
The new lease is in the name of the new company.
Okay, but why couldn't they just get the old lease extended under the existing license?
It wasn't a decision I was made privy to, so I can't answer that. I came in, as you all know, after the fact.
All right, so their hours are closing at 10:30?
We're a restaurant, legitimate restaurant.
Okay. I'm all
So
right.
10:30.
Also, if I could just add, never had a disciplinary problem with
Is
it.
it really 10:30?
Yeah. It's a restaurant.
It ended up here because of the availing.
All right, I'm gonna do recorded music only midnight across the board.
Wait, I'm sorry, this is on,
Oh,
You probably, and we don't need this to
It
come
doesn't
back
matter.
either.
that was my next question.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, next agenda number is 622. Gloucester East Inc.
622.
Good morning, esteemed board. My name is Walter Drabanko. I'm the attorney for the applicant.
Nicholas Drabanko, the owner.
And my name is Adrian Jabenko. I was the Director of Operations and Manager since 2019.
And you are opposite, the community board.
Oh,
Why
yes,
don't we let
yes.
them speak?
Sure.
Hi, thank you. Good morning. Susan Stetzer for Community Board 3, and there's one community person here also. So the Cloisters was approved by the SLA, our CB3 committee last February, 3-2 in committee with stipulations that included closing at 10 p.m., which is standard for our board in residential areas. We rarely have problems with applicants understanding this need. For this location, we had residents at the meeting complaining about years of late night noise, and it was approved, but as 3 members wanted to keep a long-time local business. The owner then contacted the board and said he would not sign the stipulations as he wanted to keep the outdoors open later. At the full board, some of the members and public were appalled that the application had been approved even with stipulations. The resolution was changed to straight denial and passed 37-0. There were complaints of parties during COVID that did not comply with health regulations. The SLA inspected one and closed the business. This was a time of fear when people were dying. And in my position, I saw some huge non-compliance issues, but also businesses in the community that made great efforts to support and protect all. So this very conscious and deliberate disregard and disrespect for people's lives was of great concern, and we feel should not be rewarded. There's no public benefit to this new license and good reasons to deny, including disregard for people's lives, disregard for the immediate neighbors before COVID, and intention to continue the same by refusing to sign stipulations. And at the committee meeting, the applicant also disputed that the SLA had rightfully taken away its license for violating COVID protocols, indicating that would continue to fight in court, which leads us to believe that he wasn't taking responsibility. And if I can just, I have information from a neighbor who has since moved. Her name is Michelle Little, and she sent an email saying that she had problems before COVID, but during COVID, it got much worse. There were long lines. It turned into a nightclub, having people come through the bar door while keeping the garage door closed. There was an outdoor area with no roof and a coverage that kept us awake all night. There was no social distancing. And she documented everything with the SLA, with Margarita Marcuzio, and who also called everybody that complained about this during COVID. So she said SLA should have records of all of this.
We do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I guess it's still morning. I'm Laura Sewell. I'm the Director of the East Village Community Coalition. The East Village Community Coalition is well known for its work in support of local independent businesses, as well as the health and well-being of its residents. Our followers look to seek a balance between the lively streetscape that attracts residents to our community in the first place and our residential quality of life. We redoubled these efforts on behalf of local businesses and residents during the COVID-19 crisis. We were inspired by the solidarity and creativity of East Village business community, how they brainstormed ways to help consumers feel confident and safe, made deliveries to all 5 boroughs by bicycle, took their businesses online, or pivoted them to better serve the community. We created What's Open EV, an online interactive map of essential businesses that we updated in real time as the city and state reopened. It was while we were conducting this research that a Cafe Tucano popped up, and we tried to find out what was going on with the Cloister Cafe and Sha'an, the businesses we were aware of at 238 East 9th Street. We walked by during the day and saw the Tucano mural, but the gates were always down. We asked around, and we heard that there were long lines out front at night with cars coming and going. This is before anyone was vaccinated, while ambulances were stationed on corners strategically so they could respond promptly to emergencies, and refrigerated trucks were stationed outside the overflowing morgue. We honestly couldn't believe it when we found out this was not a new business, but was taking place in the garden of Cloister Cafe, a long-standing neighborhood favorite. It's not our place to tell anyone how to conduct their businesses, but this garden could have been a great asset to the neighborhood. Similar businesses were offering free Wi-Fi and work from home packages so people could feel safe outside. I'd like to read from a letter from a local resident who could not attend today. Her name is Nancy Schreiber. I am writing to you in lieu of being able to testify next Wednesday, as we are out of town until May 26th. I want to say my husband and I have been dealing with a Cloister Cafe for about 15 to 20 years. We live at 139 2nd Avenue. Our living room and bedroom are directly above the outside garden. It used to be just a restaurant, but the cafe built an awning to cover the backyard and now use it as a nightclub, playing loud music all hours of the day and into the night. We are hoping to keep our quality of life that we just got back after the long battle with their liquor license privileges. They are simply not responsible business owners and are not respectful neighbors. We all pay very high rent to live in New York City and only ask to be able to sleep at night. This was especially ramped up during the COVID crisis. They were allowing many, many people in the already jam-packed courtyard. The courtyard was always packed with crowds with no social distancing. During this time, their average closing time was about 4:30 to 5 a.m. every night, even during the week. At that time, the loud PA system that never stopped until the wee hours of morning. I called them on the phone and even went down from time to time in person to ask them to be reasonable, respectful neighbors. One of these times, at about 2 a.m., I went down to speak to them. They had a line around the corner of young people lining up behind several velvet-type ropes in hopes to get into the party. On that particular occasion, one of their patrons threw a drink at me. I feel like we were living in complete disbelief that things could have gotten any worse than they were before COVID, but indeed they did. I would often call 311 or the police station. I have written letters. Some neighbors have moved out because of the unlivable, unbearable noise of music that comes out of the courtyard 7 days a week. I have also written a letter to the SLA because of a notice they had to post in their window, stating if anyone had a problem with granting them another license. In addition to mine, my husband sent a letter, as well as other neighbors, no doubt because of the possibility of them reopening again. We all sent letters saying we do not believe that they have the right to get their liquor license back. Today, I ask you, and I'm literally pleading to you, please do not grant them another liquor license. I promise you that if my husband and I could have been there in person, we definitely would have. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Tell me the name of your group again, East Village.
East Village Community Coalition.
And how many people are in your listserv, you would say?
We have, between Twitter and our listserv, maybe 3,000.
And the letter you just wrote,
Is from
that you just read,
resident
is from whom?
Resident Nancy Schreiber.
And how close do they live?
They live on 2nd Avenue, so they're
Above the courtyard.
They're above the courtyard.
Above the
Near the
courtyard.
corner.
And they mentioned something about the notice that was posted on the door.
The notice that was posted on the door is barely legible because it's behind broken glass, and they've written letters to the authority about this.
I understand. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Kevin Schultz. I'm counsel with the law firm of Marks D. Palermo Wilson, and I'm here in opposition. I'm here on behalf of John Drabenko Jr. John Drabenko Jr. is the son of a deceased former principal of Cloister Cafe. Yesterday, his family just learned of this application, and his mother was left John Sr.'s estate and has a 25% stake in Cloister Cafe. She lives in Miami, Florida, and is not aware of this application.
Whoa. So one of the things that happened when all of this that they were talking about happened was that it was discovered that Cloister Cafe as a corporation did not exist for years. So presumably what's coming in front of us now is another corporation, a new corporation, probably named the same thing or close to it. But so I don't know what the legal theory is or what she owns or what she doesn't own as far as the estate goes. But that corporation, from my understanding, went up in smoke for, I don't even know the reason, but the bottom line was that the state had basically shut it down, probably, I believe, because of tax liens.
So respectfully, Mr. Chairperson, that's exactly what we respectfully request, at least an adjournment, if not a denial, so that, frankly, as I've been told, Maria, the widow, does not want the liability or the controversies associated with a liquor license.
Okay.
And I've been sent here to
Her
communicate that.
interest is in a company called what?
Cloister Cafe, I mean, I have record of her having received all of John Sr.'s, property and interests.
Well, do you know the name of the company that she claims to be part of?
What I have is her being named as a party in the lawsuit that was filed in the Southern District, her substituting for her husband for Cloister East Inc., DBA Cloister Cafe.
The Cloister east.
Well, so maybe they reactivated it. I don't know. As far as this application goes, the only owner that they have put on the application, which presumably means he's the only owner of the corporation, is, you have that in front of you? Nicholas Drabanko.
Yes, Chairperson, and again, this application was only learned of yesterday.
No, but what I'm telling
So,
you is, as far as we're told, this corporation now has a sole stockholder. It's Nicholas Drabanko. He's the president, secretary, and sole stockholder. So she has no interest in this, according to them.
And we would like the opportunity to verify that information before this license is issued, because
Well,
as you said, it's
why don't we
frankly
see where
not
the
clear.
license goes first? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, members of the board. If I may first address the opposition, and then I would be more than happy to answer any questions.
And you're Walter.
I'm Walter Drabanko, yes.
So you used to be on the license?
That's correct. And I used to have a license for Caviarteria New York Inc. in Tribeca at 75 Murray Street. I was a principal there.
Okay. And do you have interest in the building as well?
The building, yes, I do.
Who else does?
The 4 previous licensees all have interest in the building?
No.
Who has interest in the building then?
Nicholas Drabanko has interest in the building.
And you as well?
I don't know, no, not anymore.
And what other buildings in that area do you or your relatives have interest in? Apartment buildings?
I don't have any in that neighborhood.
No, it's just a 236, 238 property at East 9th Street. 2 different lots.
And the residents upstairs?
At
Yes.
238, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so, yeah, those are single room occupancy.
Okay.
So if I can address the comments made by the opposition, Susan Stetchers. Yes, there was an approval by the community board. Unfortunately, the community board during COVID did not provide us the hours that we were looking for. Cloister Cafe East Inc. operated in that location for 35 years as a family business. It's been there. It's served the community purpose and had a community benefit for 35 years. What transpired during COVID was an anomaly, and I'll address that anomaly as soon as I just finish addressing the comments of Susan.
Let me just ask you,
Sure.
the committee vote of 10 p.m., what were the stipulations surrounding that?
That was changed at full board. It was changed.
Yep, I understand, but at the committee level,
It was 10 p.m. for the outdoors.
it was 10 p.m. for the outdoors?
Correct.
What about indoors?
I believe that was 4.
Yeah, according to the community board document that was presented, it was 10 p.m. on the outdoor garden cafe and 4 a.m. on the inside.
Yeah.
The Cloister Cafe was licensed for 35 years with a 4 a.m. license. They have not had any instances or any adverse action taken on behalf of the SLA, the community board, building department, health department, fire department, police department, or anybody else in the past 35 years. If we submitted documents to the SLA, clearly identifying the history of the location. I know there's noise complaints that the community board says that they got. Every time there was a noise complaint, when the police came there, they checked it out. They determined there was no merit to it. And what happened was no violations were ever issued. ECB didn't come by and give us a violation with a decibel marker. They did not give any violations. And in the record before the SLA, there's a complete list of all the violations that are relevant. The DOB, there's no DOB violations. There's no certificate of occupancy violations. There's no public assembly violations. There's no complaints. During the summary suspension, my client was issued, I believe, 6 or 7 criminal tickets relating to social distancing. All those social distancing violations were dismissed in the criminal court level. Although we had an ALJ hearing, unfortunately, We disagree with the ALJ's findings, and
You realize because they're dismissed in the criminal level, we're under a different burden of proof here, completely different.
I understand that, and I respect that, but
Well,
unfortunately.
based on what I've read, it doesn't appear you do respect it.
No, we do, because what happened was, on August 6th, the night before, there was 2 inspections. August 6th at 11:30 p.m. There was an inspection from the SLA. There was 4 officers that showed up.
Listen, you did this in your paperwork.
Okay, so let me.
You
Go ahead.
did this in your, I'm not relitigating. We have litigated this enough.
No, I'm
You're
not looking
gonna
to
sit-
litigate
I
it.
don't want to hear about what you did or didn't do last time. Right now, as far as the SLA is concerned,
Okay.
that has been adjudicated. The violations have been sustained. Some weren't, some were.
Gotcha.
What was sustained is now, as far as I'm concerned, on your adverse history. So I don't want to hear that you did do it or you didn't do it. You can certainly litigate that as far as you want to.
I
And you
understand.
have.
I understand.
So just to speak to the opposition and the supposed noise complaints. So as Walter Drabenko here has said, we never knew of any sort of complaints prior to COVID, right? There was never an issue with the community board. My father has always been a longstanding member of the community, always part of the 9th precinct, donating to the toy drives, donating to the charities, the soccer that the 9th precinct had, always donating thousands of meals to the local parishes, whether it be St. George or St. Stanislav. So prior to COVID, we don't know of any of these alleged complaints. The community board never told us anything whenever we would renew the license. So I can't speak to the verification of those noise complaints, but during COVID, we were allowed to reopen. It was the governor's order put out his initial order, which allowed for outdoor dining. At that point, indoor dining wasn't allowed. So outdoor dining was allowed. There was an 11 p.m. curfew, but the issue was the 11 p.m. curfew was for the new phenomenon of the sidewalk seating that was going on that they allowed because people didn't have access to actual outdoor property.
You're heading in the direction, again, I don't want to hear about the past history, as far as we're concerned, is written in stone.
It's relating to the noise complaints.
It's related to the noise complaints during COVID. So the issue was that
We did a summary suspension on your restaurant. Whether they said there were complaints or not, we clearly found that there were.
Right, but
we closed you.
But I want to address those complaints because there were about 35 complaints during that period of time. Each one of those complaints, as you know, the regulatory agency that responds to those complaints is the NYPD. All of those complaints were marked as 1090X or 1090Y, which means unfounded. So that I'm not trying to discredit any noise complaints because we're always trying to be members of the community, and we don't want to have residents that complain about the noise. But the fact is, whenever the police came to the establishment, from the middle of July 2020 through the first week of August, when we got raided by the SLA, the police officers came. They say, "Look, we have a noise complaint." I always invited them inside. They came inside. They would say, "We don't hear anything that's out of the ordinary." A possible reason for the noise complaints is that this is what the police officers would say: is that there was a 4-month period where the entire city was closed, so everybody was used to it being quiet, and that was possibly one of the reasons that people thought that we were operating past the curfew. And every time the police came, they'd say, "Why are you open past 11?" And I would show them, and this is an exhibit that we submitted
Can we focus
supplement.
on why you think you have public interest to open now?
Okay.
I don't want to hear about your past.
Okay, well.
Because I'm quite familiar with your past.
Okay, the past is
One of
very.
the people that was out on the street doing this stuff because you were not following the law was me.
The past is relevant to the future, based upon the fact.
In that you were speaking the truth.
Correct. So we have an unblemished record for 35 years in the neighborhood. We were the first outdoor garden cafes in the Lower East Side. And tourists always come there because they enjoy the outdoor garden with the water fountain as well as the atmosphere. I've been present there numerous times. I've spoken to customers myself when I go there to have a cocktail and or smoke hookah. And customers always say, when I walk into this courtyard, I feel like I'm in Paris. I'm not in Manhattan. That is one of the unique locations in the Lower East Side, and that supports the coalition goal is to get people to come to the Lower East Side. Now, the noise complaints, I would like to address and say the restaurant toolkit and the public did not know or did not read the New York City Restaurant Bar Reopening Toolkit, which clearly stated that if you have a 4 a.m. license on an outdoor private property, you can operate as up to the time that's limited in your liquor license. So we were operating as our liquor license on the outdoor space. We had all the masks on the wait staff.
The sheriff's office investigative report said that all patrons and all guests were all patrons and all employees were donning masks.
So with that the neighborhood did not familiarize themselves with the toolkit. So they saw us operating after 11 o'clock. They started calling and they labeled it as illicit parties. This was a restaurant that was opening up that has a hookah bar and they play background music. Every time we get a complaint or when we get a complaint from the neighbor, we invite them down, say, please come downstairs, listen to the music. It's not us. There are other bars in the neighborhood that are behind from the St. Mark's area. And we had several neighborhood complaints. They came in, they looked, they stepped into the 238 East 9th Street location, and they said, no, that's not the noise I'm hearing. Now, in addition to address the noise, what my client did, in 2021, after COVID, or during COVID, they installed additional soundproofing. We put in 1.5-inch insulation covering the entire back portion of the property. Is 1,200 square feet where the canopy is there. They put in also acoustical drapes in addition to the soundproofing of 1.5-inch. They put in acoustical drapes from the floor to ceiling, as well as additional on the canopy. We have certificates that we've complied with all that work in order to address any community board or any neighbor complaining to us. After this summary suspension, we operated. We were able to obtain the liquor license back, and what happened was we operated. We had no problems with noise complaints afterwards. Unfortunately, it was an anomaly, and we'd like to go back to normal as it was before COVID. We respect the community. We've been in the community since 1977. We had licenses with Leshko's Cafe, Leshko's Restaurant on 7th Street, Avenue A. We owned the Ukrainian restaurant on 2nd Avenue and 8th Street, and then we owned CLOISTER Cafe. We've been in this neighborhood. We grew up in this neighborhood. I lived at St. Mark's before I moved out to Queens. I'm an attorney. I was on this license. I would never have anybody permit to have illicit parties as alleged against us. And I don't want to relitigate it. I understand. My license is more important.
Here's my problem. You're
Sure.
sitting here saying no illicit parties. You had, and we respect the community. We had to bring, and the community members themselves had to come, testify against your place. People that lived on top of your garden. So you're basically coming in here that they spent their entire day, didn't go to work, or if they did have work, they had to skip work that day, had to come in here and testify because the music was so bad that we needed them to prove our case. And now you're telling me that they were all lying.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not saying they're lying.
I know they're not lying.
No, I'm not saying they're
Because
lying.
I also was there.
And the point is we had 248 signatures from neighbors.
I don't care.
No, but
Here's
that, you have to care
As
because
Ms. Stetzer said, this was a period of time when I had never seen the state of New York, certainly New York City, that vulnerable, ever. And I was here at 9/11. I was here for years. And most people were worried about their families and their lives. What are you worried about? Making as much money as you can.
that's incorrect.
That's the appearance.
I understand it. It may appear that way. However, we were trying to get back to normal following the rules and regulations promulgated by the mayor's office, promulgated by the governor's office, permitting, because the governor and the mayor's office, why did they issue this toolkit? Because they wanted the restaurant businesses to go back, trying to go back to normal.
Nowhere in that toolkit does it say that the outside allows
does.
you to play loud and pounding music emanating from the licensed premise from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. right outside people's apartments. Nowhere does it say that in that toolkit. I read that toolkit.
I understand, and I
helped draft the toolkit.
I thank you for drafting it, first of all, because it's a very good piece of work. But the point is, we don't have the pounding music. I know there's Solus Bar right next to us, which have.
So now you're telling me again that Mr. Zitelli, who came in and testified against you and looks down into your courtyard, is lying. Why would he? What's the purpose of him lying? What's the motivation?
I don't know the motivation, and I'm not here to speak about his motivation. I'm here
Because
to.
there is
No.
motivation other than he wants to go to sleep.
I'm here. We've never had a phone call from that gentleman. We've had phone calls from other neighbors who also are above the courtyard. And she called the police numerous times. The police came there and there were no violations issued.
Well, they know,
Then
the
subsequently.
one thing I can guarantee you has, since the license has been gone,
Yes.
is we're not getting any phone calls.
Well, we weren't getting phone calls either.
Can I
We were
ask,
before.
prior to COVID, do you have any record of any
No,
complaints of
but
phone
that,
calls?
you want to act like COVID didn't happen. It did.
We all want to act
Control
that
the
way.
place,
We
you
want.
let it go.
No, we didn't let it go. We were operating within your own drafted guidelines for
I
tools.
think
Now,
that's
with regard, if I can continue addressing the noise complaints, we've had a community, this is about community. We had 248 signatures on the community board application supporting the application. We had over 30 people show up on the Zoom conference for the community board to testify. Only about 9 were able to testify. So we have the community support. We've been part of that community for 77 years.
People that came.
There's
to
only 2
testify,
people here.
They're part of the community too.
I understand.
The community board is also part of the community.
And the community board did not even once call us, hey, we have a neighbor that's complaining. Can we address the alleged noise? Nobody did it.
I think we've heard enough.
So with
Well,
regard,
can I say something yet?
sure.
Briefly.
Okay. Like I said, I've been part of the community for 35 years. I had never problem with nobody. Once again, if somebody called them, we asked them to come down. We talked to them, okay? The community board.
I get you.
The community
don't believe
board-
You have a problem. The problem I have is right now.
Noise.
Is that,
We try to
no, the
solve
problem
it.
I have is that Ms. Stetzer probably has dozens of applications that come here every year. Dozens. Very rarely do we get an application from the community board that says, do not grant under any circumstances. That's what this one says.
Mr. Chairman, the community
So
board,
you're telling me you have community support. That's
do.
the community.
that's not the community, okay? Because
That's the one I have to listen
the
to.
community board first approved our application or sent a recommendation.
No, a committee did, and apparently that the rest of the community board was not happy with that recommendation.
I understand, but the community
All right, Gus,
board,
wrap it up.
And
Now,
you withdrew that, right?
with
You didn't
regard-
sign the stipulation.
I'm sorry?
And that's what she said, you didn't sign the stipulation.
Because the bulk of the business is in the courtyard and in the back. We understand the noise complaints, and that's why in 2020, in 2021.
Hear that. The
No, no, I-
500-foot hearing came out against
I
you. You're here
understand
to
that.
prove public interest.
I am.
The one step that you had the opportunity to work with the community board, you burned that bridge again.
No,
You
we asked the
walked away
community.
from that process.
We asked the community board to please leave it as it was. We even offered, instead of 4 o'clock, we'll do it 3 a.m.
But based on what you did, you can't leave it the way it was.
What did we do?
What did we do?
What did we
We had to
do?
shut your restaurant.
You shut us down based upon and misconstruing of our operation of
Which
hours.
we then proved in a hearing.
That has nothing to do with this application.
Yeah, it has everything to do with
Okay,
it. You're the
You're
same
the
owners.
okay, let me
You're the
just.
same owners of a place that we summarily suspended
Yeah.
and then
The-
canceled it,
The ALJ made a 40-page finding.
which you tried to litigate
Hold on, please.
and lost.
If I can, please, because you're relying upon that. So the ALJ made 40 pages of finding, alluding to building violations, fire department violations, and Department of Health violations. Subsequent to that finding, we were not issued any violation from anybody. So please.
That you understand that doesn't matter under our law? We're allowed to violate you based on your failure to comply with local regulations.
What regulation? Nobody issued
Do I need
violations.
to go through every charge and read what was sustained to you and what wasn't? Because you're ignoring.
I'm not
you're
ignoring it.
the most
No,
serious.
I'm not ignoring anything.
All right.
Okay.
No, we know what happened during COVID. Like we said, prior to COVID, we had no
But
issues.
you want us to forget it.
No, we're not asking you to forget
You
it.
have not said one time that, oh, no, we messed up. And I mean, we've been to court.
We followed the guidelines.
not.
We followed the guidelines. There was a SLA inspection on August 6th. 4 officers from the SLA came in and they said,
45 minutes prior.
they inspected it and they said, okay, you guys are all in
Which, by the
compliance.
way, was never actually confirmed. You don't
Yes,
have
it
any-
was. It was. I'm sorry. Hold on. During the hearing,
Cross-examination.
the inspector, what was his name?
Stravali.
Admitted it on the
I
record.
don't understand your point, but
The point is that there was a prior inspection at 11:30 on August 6th. The second inspection came in on August 7th at 12:30.
At this point, I mean, you're a prior licensee and you're arguing for him to get a license. It's like, I find that to be.
I understand and I apologize for those
I'm
issues
gonna vote to
because
deny. I'm gonna vote to deny.
we're here to show that we've only had one incident. There were members of applications that came before us today. They had 3 strikes on their board, on their record, and this board approved them. We didn't have any strikes.
you know what the difference is?
What?
Those people were not taking the public's health and safety
We didn't
and
do
putting
that.
it at risk.
We did not do that.
There's
Mr.
not-
Chairman,
You keep saying that.
Mr.
but
Chairman, that's the
That's
allegation.
my
I
opinion, that's my
understand.
view.
I understand, and we're going forward now, and we've,
Not here,
we've,
'cause I'm
we've,
voting to deny
we've
as
ad-
well.
we've addressed,
I'm voting to
We've-
deny for cause.
we've
And I'm
addressed
voting to
the,
deny for- There's no complete lack of public interest as the ALJ found and the community board found.
How is there a complete lack of public interest when it's the only outdoor garden in all of New
You're
York
done.
City?
Sir, you're done. Both members.
Tom,
deny the
Tom,
application.
don't raise your voice, please.
we've addressed the noise complaints, we've addressed the issue relating to the benefit of the
Not to my
community.
satisfaction, thank
And
you.
What do you want us to do?
what level
What
is
do you want
that?
us to
I
do?
don't know
What
if
level
there's
is that,
any-
What do you
sir?
want us to do?
I doubt there's
Back to the
anything you could
community
do.
board.
Okay.
So you telling me
get them
I'm
to
there,
sign on. If
I
you
was
get
there
them
for
to sign on,
35
I'm
years,
good.
sir. I was there 35 years, part of the community. And there was one mistake, maybe, okay? Maybe one mistake,
You're the first person that's actually said that.
okay? Maybe one mistake. So we're sorry for that if we did that, okay?
Should've started
But
now,
now,
sir.
but now, you want to take my life away? This is my life. This is what I do. This is what I do. So you don't care about, you care
I
about
do
the
care, but
community, but not the people.
I care
And
about
you
the
don't
fact
care
that
about my
you
family.
put the other people at
You
risk.
don't care about
Sir,
my
the
family,
hearing
right?
is over.
Look,
Okay, you don't care about my family,
Both of
right?
you,
Mr.
We're
Mr. Chairman,
done.
Mr.
We're
Chairman,
done.
if I just
The
may.
vote's been taken.
If I understand, Mr. Chairman, if I just may.
That's not right,
I-
man. This is America, land of the free.
I respectfully request.
My father came here with 5 kids. He was in concentration
We're gonna take a
camp,
5-minute break.
okay? And
Thank
you
you.
think this is right? It's not right. You're taking my life away. That's my life. This is what I did, okay? And I was part of the community for 40 years. We had a restaurant on 7th Street Avenue A, Leshko's Coffee Shop. I was there too, okay? No problem whatsoever. And another,
understand, sir.
okay, and
My job
another
is to-
thing,
look,
and
sir,
another thing.
My job is a balancing act.
And
You
the
gotta go back to
and the balancing act is as
what?
follows. We have 234 members of the
I think
community.
you have a conflict. I think that you should hire a different lawyer who's
That's
not your
not-
brother.
There
not
is no
your
conflict,
licensee,
Your Honor.
And really try to figure this out.
There is no conflict. We've been in the community for 35 years at that location. So how can it's ironically after the COVID instances.
Unexpected.
Everybody, let me say this to the board. Every other business that got issued violation by the SLA was offered a stipulation. I contacted Gary Meyerhoff with regard to this issue. I said, why aren't we offered a stipulation? Why aren't we offered a penalty in order to continue to operate? And now we know Mr. Meyerhoff is no longer with the authority. So I don't want to speak to what happened, but the point is that we're willing to do a stipulation with the board. But the point is if there's community noise complaints, let them come to us, and we will address those noise complaints like we did in the past. Okay?
We are off the record right now, so I'm going to mute the microphone.
Okay, and we'll wait for the chairman to come back?
No,
I think
you're
you're
done.
done.
We're all set.
I didn't
I
hear a vote.
voted for a cause and for no public interest.
And
Okay, we're back on the
Verbally.
record.
No, we're not on the record for this. This one's over. Thank you. You certainly can ask for reconsideration.
and a denial hearing too?
No, one or the other.
Yes, I would like a denial hearing.
Well, you have to do that you'll get the decision and then you can do that.
Thank you.
Okay, next agenda number is 633, Mama Mia Enterprises, Inc.
For applicant.
Good afternoon. My name is Lawrence Carr. I'm an attorney. I represent 221 Fulton Avenue, DBA Miranda River Cafe. The applicant is Luis Marquez, who is standing next to me. In essence, this is a restaurant that has been running for a year and a half on Fulton Street. Mr. Marquez is qualified to run said restaurant. He has a background with the SLA in that he was a bartender and a manager at Pompeii.
So before we get into all of that,
Yes, sir.
because you didn't put in a public interest questionnaire, which is why this got denied initially, which I then reconned it, which brought you here, but in the course of that time, we have been notified by the town of Hempstead that they never got any notice of this application, which we don't have discretion to avoid that statute.
Most respectfully, Your Honor, that did come to light, and as a result of same, my client and myself actually visited the town of Hempstead in an effort to reach Michelle Banks, who is the administrator of the Planning Commission, to put this on the calendar. In addition thereto, the application is fully completed in my hand, along with the check payable to establish the date, along with the necessary drawings and site plans. Unfortunately, I was there yesterday and they informed me that Michelle Banks is on vacation until next Wednesday. I asked for her associate, and they told me the associate was Nellie, but that Nellie is also gone until next Wednesday. So I could not really put in the necessary documentation to request the date with the Village of Hempstead to subsequently obtain the license. However, I can indicate to the board that it is my intention on next Wednesday to appear before the town of
All
Hempstead.
right, I'm gonna give you until July 12th.
If, most respectfully, what I was going to ask for was that the board hear this application today, and as part of one of the conditions or contingencies, that the
No, you can
license.
go there and come back July 12th.
Because they're gonna have contingencies, they clearly have ideas of what they need, stipulations that they want adhered to as well. So you'll learn about that from them, I take it. All right, July 12th.
Thank
And
you.
if you can find, you can submit the public interest statement to our agency. In the meantime, I would strongly
I think
encourage
you
you.
did that already, didn't you?
I did.
I did not.
After the
Do
hearing.
I have that? Okay.
No, I don't know if you have it.
I
I'm
don't
assuming,
Well,
did
do we
you?
have it or we don't have,
I don't have it, so you need to get it to us.
public interest statement as well?
Yes, so just submit that before July 12th. It's usually due the Friday before our meeting.
Understood, July 12th. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, next agenda number is 630, Beverage and More, Inc.
Good afternoon, Chairman.
6:30.
Yeah, my name's Henry Warakomsky. I represent the applicant. The applicant is here with me now.
What did we do with 629?
We approved it.
Okay. All right, go ahead. We got two protests. Is there any objection in the audience? No, go ahead.
All right, this is a new liquor store application. It's in Bay Shore. It's in a shopping center. I have a letter from the landlord, if you want to read it, concerning the shopping center. And I think we submitted a map of the area showing where the store is in location with the other stores.
Yes, we have
Right.
everything you submitted.
The population in the area is 31,488 now. It went up about 2% since the 2010.
What are they gonna do that these multiple other stores within 2 miles are not doing?
Well, she's going to, specialize in New York wines, about 30%. And she's going to, what do you, Indian wines too?
Spanish one.
Spanish wines. And she's hired a manager. He's behind me. He's going to run the store.
Why a liquor store?
I'm interested in it. I like it. I like to do
What?
it. Because I'm running.
You own a grocery store now
Yes,
with a liquor license?
yes.
And-
A beer license.
How far is that from here?
I want a liquor license. I don't have a liquor license.
A beer license? No?
You get a beer license.
Yes, you do have a beer license.
Yeah.
Well, who manages that?
I go there and work and I have a manager there.
And how far away is it from the liquor store?
It is almost 2 miles.
How many?
It's gonna be like probably 20 miles.
20 miles. You're gonna work at both places?
Yeah, I want to work. I want to keep myself busy.
Do any of your
Who's that? That's your son?
No,
No, that's the
my
manager.
That's your manager for the grocery store or for the liquor store?
The liquor store.
For the liquor store, okay.
And who, do you have any family members that own liquor stores?
No.
No.
Do you want to see a copy of the manager's personal questionnaire?
Okay.
Did we approve two new stores recently, Amy? I got serials, 1335098. And then
3350.
98 and 1336078. I know
The
we
first one, Bay Shore Wine and Liquor, is active.
since when?
July of 21. And 1336070 is not a liquor
No,
store.
7078.
This one looks like it was denied. Nope, hang on. This one has a permanent hold, they surrendered,
Okay, so that's not open.
correct. They
Alright.
just surrendered it in April.
Okay. All right, Casey.
Okay.
If Commissioner Fan is ready, I'm ready.
Fan, are you ready to vote?
The closest store is more than a mile away. All the 4 closest stores are showing relative growth, so I'm gonna vote to approve.
I'll vote to approve as well, based on the same information.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
So we can do that.
Congratulations.
Okay, next agenda number is 667, 96 Wine and Liquor, Inc.
docket number 667.
Hi, Natalie for 96 Wine and Liquor. My counsel's not here, but if it's okay with the members of the board, I would like to present my own case.
Sure. Who's your rep?
Jay, what's his name? Jay. You. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's opposition, so
Yes.
let them go first.
Good morning. I represent 57th Avenue Liquor and Wine Inc. Now, this case was on the board and was heard to some extent at a previous meeting. The matter was put over, I think at your request, Mr. Chairman, concerning what happened to the liquor license of R&R.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Did we find
Is
that
there a
out?
cancel in the bond on the second closest store?
If
1286501.
if I may,
Yeah.
with regard to that, I mean, I don't know of any cancellation bond. The owner of that store, Mr. Wren, is here today.
Okay.
I spoke, I told my client, try to locate what's going on with this and see what's happening. From what I'm being told, Mr. Wren turned over his license. He had to close at his location. Mr. Wren turned his license over to his attorney, Hong Chen, last September or October, to put into the Liquor Authority for safekeeping. Mr. Wren the landlord at Mr. Wren's location was trying to consolidate the retail stores and wanted to lease a larger store to one tenant. However, Mr. Wren I don't know whether there are second thoughts with regard to the landlord. Mr. Wren, although he had to leave the location, is still talking to the landlord again about being able to lease the space back, as well as looking at other locations in the area. I told Mr.
Is that in safekeeping?
Yes.
I told
So
Mr.
what's the story? So he's looking for a new location?
Yes. I don't know whether the license actually went into safekeeping. I told Mr. Wren he should contact.
It
It did? Oh, okay. So it is in safekeeping. So the Hong Chen did what she was supposed to do. And yeah, I'm being told that he went back and the landlord may be reconsidering leasing him the space back instead of consolidating the retail spaces for a larger tenant. He's also looking around the neighborhood in general for other spaces in case that doesn't work out.
All right, so thank you for that. But
And
for
this is
yours,
This is Mr. Wren right here.
Okay.
Should I proceed?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so my client is 57th Avenue Liquor and Wine. 57th Avenue Liquor and Wine is 264 feet from the applicant's proposed location, located on the same avenue, 57th Avenue. The applicant wants to open up a 2,952 square foot store with 1,300 square feet of retail space. There are 21 liquor stores within, and that would include R&R Liquor, whose license is in safekeeping, within, I believe it's 1 mile. Yes, 1 mile of the applicant's location. The 5 closest stores to the applicant are all within 0.394 mile of the applicant's location. And all of those stores, including the applicant, they're all located on the south side of Long Island Expressway. We have little to no new residential construction taking place in the area. When we look at the demographics report based on census data, over a 20-year period between 2000 and 2001, within 0.2 of 1 mile radius, population actually decreased by a little over 0.5%. There was a decrease. Within a 1/3 of a mile radius from the location, within that 20-year period, population increased less than 0.5 of 1%. I had indicated no new growth or development, residential development. Now, when you look at the zip code data, the applicant is located in 11368. The zip code data, which I provided in an Exhibit A, along with the demographic report, shows the population trending down since 2015 in that zip code. 57th Avenue Liquor and Wine is an 1,800 square foot store with 900 square feet of retail space. It's a store that's open most hours that are permitted. It's 11 a.m. to 10 to 11 p.m. Monday through Saturday, noon to 9 p.m. on Sundays. It carries an extensive selection, has about 4,000 product SKUs. And unfortunately, even with that, when you look at the sales that have taken place over the past 3 years concerning 57th Avenue Liquor and Wine, the sales have been decreasing. And I gave you a specific chart so you can compare month-to-month sales. In 2022, every month of 2022, the sales are down each month from its 2021 sales on a month-to-month basis. And when you look at 2023 sales, the first quarter of 2023, comparing it to 2021, sales are down 40 to 50% each month. And as an example, in January 2021, it was doing 130 plus. Then you go to 2022, it's doing 118. When you go to January 2023, you're looking at a little over 66, which is a very dramatic drop in sales. In addition to that, with wholesale prices increasing, the store wants to stay competitive and hasn't increased its retail price, even though it's the price that it's purchasing at has increased a lot. So its profit margins on most products are also down. Not only sales, but the margin that he's making on sales is down, and you have Exhibit C, which would show that. Where we've given you a number of examples. Now, most of these stores in general just are not large grossing stores. You have PR Liquor. That's a store that's 1,065 square feet. It does between $300,000 and $500,000 a year. Those are its sales. You've got Cost Low Wine and Liquor, a 1,500 square foot store. Again, its sales are in the $400,000 range year to year. The largest store of this whole group is Phoenix Spirits, which is a 4,000 square foot store, and that's located on the service road of the LIE, right by Left Rack City complex, which we all know. Now, and it does substantial sales, but when you look at it, you should note that its sales decreased from 2021 to 2022 by over $600,000, which equates to over an 8% decrease in sales, annual sales from 2021 to 2022. I also would like to point out that my client has gone by the liquor store to try to find the notice that's supposed to be posted, and has not been able to see any notice being posted. The gate is down. He's looked through the gate. There's no notice posted on the gate. He hasn't been able to see, or he hasn't seen, even though he's looked in, any notice posted on the the window or door of the premises.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if there's anyone else that wants to make a statement. For the record, the stores that are here, this lady's from 2JW store. As I said, Mr. Wren from R&R, and then my client the rep from my client,
57th Avenue, that's you.
Yes, this is a rep. The owner who was here last time has a death in the family. She's traveling to be with the family for the funeral.
All right, ma'am, come on up.
Again, Natalie Fang for 96 Wine and Liquor. Good afternoon, Commissioner Finn and Chairman
You're gonna have to
Bradley.
speak up, ma'am.
Sorry about that, members of the board. I am the sole principal of 96 Wine and Liquor, located at the proposed location of 9621 57th
Are
Avenue.
you related to the owner of this building?
I am.
Who is it?
That's my father.
Hence the gift.
Yeah. Related to that, I believe that it is a positive on my case that I wouldn't have any issues with leasing or losing that space whatsoever. To continue, we are located directly and conveniently across from the LaFrac City Apartment Complex. We're actually directly across from a entrance, so on the north side of those apartment
But
complexes.
what are you bringing at the store that literally is 289 feet away from you?
Well, I am bringing, I don't believe that the current number of liquor stores that are currently there are servicing the community. I would like to point out that there was a previous liquor store on 97th, 11th, 57th Avenue. I believe that is Appendix E, that was operating until 2017. And my proposed location is a block from there. So in essence, I wouldn't be adding to the current number of liquor stores. I would be replacing. And to speak for what I would add, because of the space that my proposed location has, I would be able to offer wine tastings, which I believe no other locations here do. And to speak to him finding another location, I know that I'm very familiar with the 57th Avenue that my business is currently in, 9615, and my proposed location will be nearby that. There's no other open spaces available besides mine. I don't know how long safekeeping continues, but since there is only currently one liquor store operating right now, 57th Liquor and Wine, I just don't believe that it's sufficient to serve the community. I will again allow for tastings. I will try to do them twice a month with a focus on New York State brand wines, and to address the question of notice. I do believe I've submitted a notice with a newspaper. I know that there is a gate down. We've had some strange weather earlier this month, and I had to post the notice behind the gate. So I don't know if you have the actual notice back from October. I have a copy here if you want it.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I have some photos from
No, that's fine.
printed. Yeah. So.
Okay.
I see that the sales have gone down from 2021 to 2022, but before then there was an increase, and it hasn't dipped below pre-COVID numbers either. So I feel like that might be an anomaly. Again, I'm very familiar with the area. I love a shot.
If I may, just concerning the notice, we have a photograph. It might have been posted back in October, but it's certainly not,
I have
even
one.
in April of,
April 13th.
April
Earlier this
13th,
month.
there was no posting on the gate.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was clearly accidental, because she clearly did have it up previously.
At least for the photo.
I'm not gonna penalize her for it falling down. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers here. I don't see growth in demand. And since the other store is one block away on the same side of the street, I'm not going to find public convenience advantage. I'm going to vote to deny.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote to deny as well for the same reason. I just don't see how adding a store 289 feet away is more convenient for anybody.
Despite the other store not operating.
Yeah, because the other stores, the other four closest stores are all within a 5-minute walk. You have 5 stores that literally you could get to within going from one end to the other in under 10 minutes.
But the convenient location right across from the apartment.
But that's my point. They're all convenient.
Understood.
So I'm going to vote to deny as
All
well.
right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next agenda number is 623, Dream Mart Inc.
Somebody's glasses.
Oh, thanks.
So,
Why is it? Go ahead, put your name on the record.
Neil Trevetti from Trevetti Law Group, the corporation Dream Mart. It's a removal application.
Where's your applicant?
My application is here.
Okay, and is there any opposition?
Nope.
All right, I'm good.
I'm good.
I vote to approve.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I got him.
Hey, Tom, where did you get that sign?
He took a picture of it. It's a picture.
Oh, it's a picture?
It's a picture of the conference room.
I built a replica of the full board meeting room in my basement. I also built a replica of the chairman's office just in case I needed it.
We were convinced that you did do that, but I was convinced. I was very happy about that.
No, it's
almost
a photo of it's just a photo of using a virtual background. Unless you want to see my dogs sleeping behind me.
No. Go ahead, Casey.
Just a minute. Okay, we have, the next agenda number is 668, Platinum Cuisines LLC.
Good afternoon. I don't get to say that very often here. Robert Romano, and I'm here with Leo Lilauti Gear and Deanna Bihari. Forgive me, I was just recently, an hour ago, retained on this. I've been trying to get up to speed.
You were retained an hour ago?
Yes.
I know which one it was.
Yes, Ms. Bihari approached me. But if the board is willing to find a way that they can open their premise for this summer season, it is a seasonal license. I understand that this is a fact pattern. It's brand new to me. I've never seen anything close to this before.
Well, the one part of it, which
Right.
the mistake that was made, and I still maintain it was a mistake, was rather than go and ask for reconsideration properly, they went to a disapproval hearing.
Right.
In order to cross-examine an attorney, when there was enough other things
Right.
involved in the case that even if what they said about the attorney was true, there was enough there to cancel the license or to cancel the temp.
Right.
Now we're stuck. Now I have to tell an ALJ who was absolutely correct in their decision.
Absolutely. I read it.
Because we were correct in ours, that they're going to overturn it. So what I think I'm going to ask Commissioner Fan to do is accept the ALJ's decision and then grant reconsideration, which you're now asking for.
Yes.
A second reconsideration. Because I don't want the ALJ's decision to be out there like we reversed it, because we did.
I understand.
So that's what I propose, is that we accept the ALJ's findings and then reconsider for purposes of giving the application or reactivating the application based on equities,
My
really.
understanding is they're at the final.
Because it's apparent that the first lawyer did do something that appears to be potentially criminal.
Right.
Which didn't help her at all. So where is this right now, Amy?
I believe it needs to go back to licensing.
Is it, according to Mr. Springer, they're close to finalizing or conditional approval? Is that,
I
I'm
don't,
just wondering if they need a temporary, if we could request it a temporary.
I
be
think they
granted.
were on a temporary, weren't
Right.
right, and they would, if you grant reconsideration, we would entertain a temporary again.
they? All right, so we'll grant I'll grant reconsideration.
Thank you.
So that's and I'll allow them to be on a temporary.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I know. Because we wanted to be a big show.
I know.
It's here. Go ahead.
Next agenda number is 635,
Not right now. It wouldn't go to Kayla because it's already done.
132 Second Avenue.
6:35.
Yeah.
What will happen? The recons that go to Kayla are the ones that happen here, like that cafe, Cloister Cafe. If they ask for recon, that would go to Kayla. It goes to licensing first, then Kayla.
And this one just goes away.
This one is over. We just did it. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That's rare. What you just saw is not really orthodox. Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mike Palutis on behalf of Host 132 LLC.
Are you doing both of these or just the one?
I am here only on one declaratory ruling, Commissioner, Chairman.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that it's grandfathered in and has been continuously licensed since it literally was under 3 months unlicensed. However, I always tell anyone that is not subject to the 500-foot law, they still should go meet with the community board.
We did.
Oh, okay.
We did, and we have a stipulation with
Oh,
them,
all right.
Chairman.
Okay.
We
Great.
absolutely
All
did,
right.
yep.
Good.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
vote to issue the same declaratory ruling. Thanks.
Okay, next agenda number is 637, BRUNELLO Corp.
Good afternoon. Joseph Levy here on behalf of BRUNELLO Corp. I have with me the sole principal, Chris DeSanctis. Application for a retail wine and spirits store. Submitted a fairly extensive package. I hope you had a chance to see it and review it.
How come the store is almost 1,800 square foot and then you're only doing 450 retail?
As it explains in the packet, there's an education area for tastings, and there's a lot of space for storage.
Okay.
We have no
No
protests, correct?
I'm gonna vote to approve.
I'll vote to approve as well.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Else.
Okay, agenda number 661, First DELI Inc.
All right. I had another one. I'll wait.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I've heard the Secretary's comments, Deputy Commissioner's comments in the past about your job and his. I'm Italian. We would have taken care of this a long time ago, so I think I should mention that.
I'm clearly his puppet anyway, so I don't know who he's kidding.
Frank Palillo for the licensees off of cancellation.
Cancel and bond.
Yeah, we don't know this one's on.
I'll accept.
Thank you. Have a good holiday.
See you.
What holiday?
Oh, Memorial Day.
It's always a holiday for me.
Oh.
What number?
636. 29.
Are you leaving?
Sorry.
Declaratory ruling?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great. Joseph Levy, here on behalf of WF1 LLC.
You know, it's too long. You
I-
cited a decision that got thrown out by the court.
No, and listen, I don't blame you for asking
Good
because I think it was clear to everybody that I try to push this as far as I can.
Yeah.
But I have been slapped back.
So the interesting
By a
thing
court.
The interesting thing here, if I could, is just that, as you can see, the lease was signed pre-COVID, which obviously is a decent circumstance for the length of time. And this is the difference between them getting a temporary permit or not. The community board approved this. They didn't go around the community board. They didn't put up a fight at the community board. They got support. They went to the community board. They went through the process correctly. And they're in a position where if this were not a 500-foot rule case, for instance, they would get a temporary permit and they'd be able to open.
Yeah, I just can't do it because the justification I got reversed on was even stronger than this. And we got reversed. So I can't, I try to get this law changed and it's not working, but.
All right.
I'm sorry, I got to vote to deny.
Sorry. No.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Vote to deny.
Oh, he
All
was.
right, that's it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
Someone left their
Casey,
glasses,
start
yeah.
reading.
All right, here we go.
Rapid fire.
Because Donald is going to take notes, so you don't have to worry about it.
Perfect. Okay, we
And
have.
by the way, Donald was getting very stressed during the one controversial licensing matter.
Today.
Yes. He wanted someone to
That's it.
To stop it?
Stop it.
Yeah.
Why is it easy? Why is it
Sorry, everyone.
I said it's a board full of women now, and they're all touchy-feely.
I know. I know. We all like sitting there listening. We're like, we'll listen, but we can't do anything about it.
Yes, we're like yelling at kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Tom's
I can do
shaking
that
his
too. Okay.
Tom is shaking his head.
All right, number 595,
Yes.
CNC.
5,500 accept.
Accept.
All right, 596, CNC offer 500.
500 accept.
Accept.
597, CNC offer 6,500.
6,500 accept.
Accept.
598 and 599, CNC offers 7,500.
Shannon, you want this one back?
Yeah, so this is, we apparently have a referral from the NYPD regarding this licensee with potential pending charges, so we're sending back to council's office.
Back to council's office.
Okay, 600, CNC offers 1,000.
1,000 accept.
601, no contest.
This one, I don't know. I was gonna bring them in. They always have a DJ.
All right, bring them in.
Their default, yeah.
Um, 604, CNC.
Do we have to save this? Nobody knows,
No.
do they? We don't, okay. Go ahead.
604,
Oh, well, I usually save it, so I'm sorry. You should save it if you're, because they're gonna bring them in.
Yeah, but we don't know what date it's gonna be on, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll get another sheet, I think. You don't know, do you? All right, if I don't, I can print it out.
Confusing now.
Yeah, I can print it out. Go ahead.
You will get another agenda sheet.
Okay.
Okay, 604, CNC 15,000.
This
the
is
offer.
the third sale, so I'm gonna go to
Yep.
10.
Okay, 10.
Uh, 605, CNC offers 200.
200.
.606, CNC offers 3,500.
I'm gonna lower this
Oh, sorry.
to 2,500.
2,500.
.607, CNC offer cancellation plus
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
608, CNC offered 3,000.
I'm gonna counter at 6,000. This is actually a sale and an employment.
6,000.
$609, CNC offers 6,500.
6,500.
6,500.
$610, CNC offers 1,000.
I'm gonna counter at 3,000.
Counter at 3,000.
For this one,
yeah,
you can't. They've submitted that proof, which limits the penalty to the amount of the bond.
Oh,
That's why-
legally, right, statutorily, yes. That's why it's 1,000. Okay. All right, I'll accept.
All right, I'll accept 1,000.
That's the ATAP.
Lowers it to 1,000?
Yeah, for your first one.
Okay.
If the cashier had the training before the incident, it's limited to $1,000.
Okay.
Okay, 611, CNC offers 3,500.
3,500.
Accept.
Um, 612, not guilty.
Sustain 1 and 2, 3,500.
3,500. Sustain 1 and 2.
Um, 613,
Cancel for the record.
Cancel for the record.
$614,
Cancel, there's no bond available.
Cancel for the record.
$615,
4,000.
4,000.
$616, CNC 1,500.
I'm going to lower this to letter of warning.
Letter of warning.
$617, CNC offer 6,000.
I'm at 6,000.
6,000.
$618 and $619, CNC offer 10,000.
I was gonna counter at 15.
Yeah, that sounds right. 15.
Um, 620. Ooh, contest.
Cancel and bond?
Yes, cancel and bond.
Um, 632, CNC offer 500.
Accept 500.
638, CNC offer 5,000.
5,000.
5,000.
639, CNC offer 2,500.
I would have, I'm gonna counter at 8.
Counter at 8.
$640, CNC offers 2,000.
A counter at 5.
5.
$641, CNC offers 5,000.
5,000. I'm gonna accept, but I'm gonna check on the gambling machines again. This is 2 back to back here.
So, Shannon, can you send an email to Joe to send somebody out there?
$642, CNC offers 1,100.
1,100.
I'll accept 1,100.
643, CNC offers 1,100.
I'm gonna lower this to 500.
500.
$644, CNC offers 6,500.
6,500.
6,500.
$645, CNC offers 3,000.
I'm gonna lower this to 500.
500.
$646, no contest.
3,500.
3,500.
$647, CNC offer 3,000.
3,000.
3,000.
$648, CNC offer 4,000.
4,000.
I'm gonna lower this to 3,500.
3,500.
$649, CNC offer cancellation plus bond.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
What do you think about this one?
$650, no contest.
Yeah, you want to bring them in? Yeah,
Yeah.
bring these people in.
$651, CNC offer 1,500.
1,500.
1,500.
$652, CNC offer 1,000.
I'm gonna lower this to letter of warning.
Letter of warning.
$653, CNC offer 6,000.
6,000.
6,000.
$654, CNC offer 6,500.
6,500.
655 and 656, CNC offer 3,000.
I'll take 3,000.
3,000.
657, CNC offer 2,000.
2,000.
2,000. That's probably their last chance if they're watching.
Have food. Need to have food.
658, CNC offer 6,000.
6,000.
6,000.
659, no contest.
The co-op buying. This is. I'm countering cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
Uh, 660, CNC offer 4,000.
4,000.
4,000.
662, CNC 2,500.
2,500.
2,500.
For 663, the representative had asked to adjourn until 6/7.
6,700.
6,700.
For 664, asked for adjournment.
6,700.
6,700.
664. Oh, okay.
Okay.
665, representative asked for adjournment until 6/7.
6,700.
For 669, representative requested to adjourn until 6/21 for
Who's
community
the
board.
representative? You don't know?
No.
Okay.
Ariel Taveras.
That's
yeah,
it.
that's right.
She was here.
Right.
She said for the community board.
Okay.
It's also
All right.
Sweatnick's involved too.
All right. Go ahead.
672 and 673, CNC offer 7,000.
I want to bring them in or counter, one or the other.
Yeah, we were supposed to bring them in.
Oh, they didn't show up?
No.
Counter at 14,000. Should just cancel them. That'll get it.
Counter at 14?
Yeah.
Counter at 14. Probably they would just pay and not come in.
That's all right.
And 674 and 675, the attorney asked to adjourn until 6:21.
Okay.
621.
6:20. All right, thank you. Casey, Amy, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful job.
You both having come, I know Amy's done this before, but Casey, you didn't, but Amy's done it very brief, or in rare occasions. You both showed us how easy it is to replace Donald and Tom.
No.
And not only easy, but we could do it very quickly.
All right. With that, we're off the record. Bye, Tom.
Bye, Tom.
I could file for retirement.
I know, that's crossed my mind.
Please don't.
Bye.